Howdy, partners. How are you guys doing today? It is me, Nova Kane Omega, aka Black Girl Gamer. And welcome to Each Nine Teach Nine. Each Nine Teach Nine is a platform for learning. It's about teaching, self discovery, self improvement, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what this platform is about. And today is one of those type of shows that's going to specifically target healing yourself and feeling better, depression and things like that. You know, when you're so let's do this. That's what it's going to be about. So we're talking about, mental health, spiritual health. So let me put that in here too. Mental and spiritual well-being, right?
You go live yet?
Uh-huh. All right. So that's what it's about. I mean, you could have been in the show if you wanted to. Is that a knife?
Yeah.
Is that a knife?
I mean, maybe I'll jump in later.
Okay. I'm here. All right. So we're talking about unhappiness and stuff. So I'm not going to talk today about Twitch pages and writing blogs and working from home and stuff. I think one of the things that we like to skip over when we're talking about our personal success in life is just general unhappiness, general spiritual unhappiness, mental unhappiness, depression, anxiety, all that kind of stuff. It really gets in the way of our healing, and it's something that we don't like to talk about as much because it's not a pleasant conversation, and a lot of times it deals with certain abuses that we've endured in our lives. So I get it, but once you do address yourself and you look in the mirror, it's just like when you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you see, oh my God, I have crust here in my eyes, or my teeth, or my breath, or whatever. It's like that when you're talking about your own personal happiness. How are you doing, Miss Kai? Miss Kai Creates. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So I did this before. You actually saw me do this before, Kai. You've been following me for a while, because I did this in December of 2019 before. But I've learned a lot about self-discovery and stuff like that. So we're going to get into it here in a minute. First of all, let's just talk about when you come onto the planet. You know what I mean? So are you born alone is question one. Let's put that in. Are you born alone, fam? Now, that might sound like a depressing question, you know what I mean? But yeah, you are, right? Even if you're a twin, you're born in your own little pocket of time, in your own little special moment. And not just like a Terminator that arrives from the future, you show up naked, right? You show up naked and it's just you. It's just you in that moment, that spark in time. So I don't care how many brothers or sisters you have. I don't care how big of a family you have. You are born alone. We all are born. And I don't mean alone. I'm not saying you're born in the world and the world is alone. Like it's a lot of people in the world. I mean, in that moment, it's your unique, special moment. So you're born naked and unique. All right. And so because of that, you have to understand that gives you a special responsibility, because no one can help you maintain you. You have to, no, people can help you maintain you. They can't maintain you for you. All right. You have to do that. You're responsible for that. So that being the case, hold on, let me get up here on my phone so I can monitor. Okay, that looks decent. So that being the case, y'all, it's your responsibility. You remember? Yeah. So you're responsible. So the next question is, who is responsible? No. Let me jump the gun. So you're a tourist on Earth, right? You know your time is temporary. You know that you were born into a body. That body is like a rental car, and then eventually you're going to get out of that rental car. You can't stay in there forever. You're going to have to come out of this body at some point. So you've been downloaded into your body to operate it, and you're the operator of it, and there's a contract that's associated with that operation. And it's not something to be taken lightly. And a lot of us are walking through life wondering why we're not successful, wondering why we aren't happy. And it's because we are being irresponsible with the rental car and the tourism experience that you're having on Earth. You're a tourist on Earth, okay? So you can't ever forget that. And it's just like the rental car. When you return the rental car to the rental car place, if it's a bunch of cigarette ashes and butts and shit all in the seat, they're like, yo, there's a penalty for that. You can't just have a bunch of, you can't just return the rental car all messed up and you know what I mean, and gross, and it smell like weed, and it smell like booty and cigarettes and wine coolers, right? You got to return it in the same condition that you received it in. I want rings. I want to wear rings. Give me a second. Let me get these rings on. I don't know how I am. I can see my hand. I want rings to be on my hand. Yes, there we go. All right. So you can't return it, in a messed up way, right? So it's the same way. So you signed a contract with God to come here to earth. And a lot of people go, well, I don't believe in God, or God is a spook, or whatever it is you think about God. Fam, you are God. And really, even if you're a Christian, the Bible actually says, for it is said, ye are gods. For I have said, ye are gods, and ye are children of the Most High. Let me pull that up. I'm pulling this up for my Christians, y'all. But you're God. In your mind, you're the one that's weighing yourself every day. You're the one that's making yourself feel good or bad about different things you may have done to people or whatever. You're the one at night who feels some kind of way. You feel what I'm saying? When you go to bed. So that spirit of God is your conscience. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find Psalm 82, verse 1 through 6. Okay, so here it is. Let me share my screen with you scholars and smart people. All right, and I'm going to see who's speaking. I'm sorry, I can't see the comments just yet. Give me 1 second. So look at this right here. Okay, let me make it so you can see it. So God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? Salah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. I'm getting down to it. Okay. They do not know, nor do they understand. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are unstable. I said, ye are gods. And all of you are children of the Most High. Right? So all I'm saying is this. It's saying right here that you are a God. Right? You're a God. Now, a lot of people like to get into the big G and the little g and all of that. That's don't matter. That kind of stuff don't matter. What I'm saying to you is you're responsible. Right? You're responsible. I don't care what your religion is. Even if you're an atheist, you're responsible for your own godship. You're the God of your own universe, and you're the God of your own happiness. And that's what I'm getting around to, okay? Because it's not about religion, but it's going to be a part of this that is about religion, because I got to debunk some stuff so that you can understand where I'm coming from, okay? So let me see, Elder Music. Hey, how you doing? I don't know if you're still there, but hey, how you doing? Good afternoon, people. Yes. All right. So that being said, you are responsible, all right? You're God in a human form. We were taught in the Asara Set Society, which is a Comedic way of looking at the world, or whatever, the Comedic or the Egyptian spiritual system. We were taught that you are God having a human experience. That ant is God having an ant experience. That, whatever, name it. That tree is God having a tree experience. You feel what I mean? Everything that's in the universe is God having that experience. The headphones having a God experience. And you might think, well, it's too deep. No, seriously. I'm being serious, okay? So who is responsible for your own self-esteem, fam? Self-esteem. Let's talk about self-esteem. Self-esteem is at the crux of unhappiness. Is it not? We know this, right? You're responsible, though, for your own self-esteem. Cat Williams said, bitch, it's called... he said, bitch, it's called self-esteem. That's what he said, right? To quote him directly. You're responsible for it. You can't say someone else came and affected your self-esteem. I'm not saying you can't say that. You can say that, especially if you were a child and somebody told you were ugly, or somebody told you, you were too fat, or somebody told you were stupid. Definitely. These are your developmental years where you need to be fed things that are going to nourish your ego and nourish your self-esteem. And it didn't happen for you. But there are people who have gone through worse things and have come out with good self-esteem. So after a while, that can't be your excuse either. You can't grow old and die and let your mom and your daddy treating you a certain way be your reason why you don't embrace self and value self. After a while, that can't be your reason, or you're going to have to pay for that, right? You're going to have to pay for that, right? You can't abuse yourself. You're not allowed to just abuse yourself. There's rules to this. I know y'all don't think it is. I know you think whatever religion you pick, that's the rules or whatever you think. But there's rules to this, fam. What did you do? Somebody just did something. 12 bits. Level up art movements. Thank you for the chair. Hey, how you doing, man? Level up art. Thank you very much. Keyword being self. Ain't that right, Elder Music? Definitely. Definitely. Because a lot of people think that something outside of self can make them happy. And I swear to God, it's literally impossible. Damn, I feel like it's in my light or something. This microphone. All right. So it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You could tell somebody all day. You could see someone and you could think that they are the most beautiful person that you've ever seen. And you could say to them, hey, I think you're so beautiful. I think you're so whatever. And if they don't believe it, you might as well be talking to this damn hat right here. They don't care what you're saying. If you telling yourself, I've seen people who were so much better at me than something. And I was like, wow, that's amazing that you can do that. Or da-da-da. And they were like, I don't know because, and you thinking like, wow, if you knew what you had. It's like a person walking around with a gold nugget and they don't know the value of it. It's like a person walking around with copper and they don't know, and they're like, I have arthritis. What should I do? And it's like, well, just put the copper bracelet on. They don't know what they have. That's the same thing with you. If you're not valuing yourself and you're not esteeming your own self, what can somebody else do for you? What can money do for you? What can fame do for you if you don't like yourself? Nothing. Michael Jackson is a telltale sign of that. Michael Jackson is arguably the most famous person who ever lived, even more famous than Jesus. And yet, Michael Jackson was a miserable person because Michael Jackson's father told him he had a big ugly nose like his mother and that he was ugly and black, right? And it made Michael Jackson hate himself. Michael Jackson used to say stuff like, yo, I cover my mirrors up. I cover my mirrors up in my house. He didn't want to see his own face, fam. So that's something that, we can't overlook that. As you become an older person, stuff like that can stick with you. So it's your job to scrape that off. That person who abused you apparently is not invested in your self-esteem. You have to invest in your own self-esteem. And that's all I have to say about that. And even people who have been supportive in the past will sometimes be the same person who damages your self-esteem or who lends to you allowing your self-esteem to be damaged. So you can't look outside of self, even if it's somebody who loves you, like your mother or your father, who's supposed to love you unconditionally. They're human and they're here trying to have that experience like you are. They're going to make mistakes. And sometimes your parent who loves you to death has said, I know all of you can think of something in your mind that your parent may have said to you. And you're like, wow, I never forgot that they said that to me. Right. But they're human. They're just trying to live. Right. All right. But the main thing is it ain't their job to give you self-esteem. Okay, moving right along. So can anything outside of self make you happy? Right? No, nothing outside of self can make you happy. Biggie said more money, more problems, right? Sexiness, it fades. Muscles, they fade. I don't care who you are. I don't care how sexy you were. Fabio, I don't care how sexy you were. Eventually, you're not going to be that. Eventually, things fall apart. And that's just an old African adage, but it's true, right? Let's see what you got. Yeah, he had a lot of self-hate. That's right. And even his father. That's a good point, sis, because you don't say things like that to your children unless you have self-hate inside of yourself. I would never say something like that to my children unless I had enough self-hate for me to curve my mouth and say something like that to my own child, right? Tell my child they're ugly and whatever. Self-hate, strong. And the fact that he would say that about is specifically Michael Jackson's nose. He told Michael Jackson he had a big ugly nose and that his nose came from his mother's side of the family. That's what he told him. So that means that he thought in his mind, I'm better than these other Negroes. I'm a little bit light skinned. I got a little bit of light eyes and wavy hair. I'm better. And Michael Jackson came out dark and pulled from that dark side of the family. All of the babies did, right? So he didn't like that. And he really made them verbally aware. He told them that. And I'm like, ooh, you must hate yourself if you would even say something like that. So yeah, can money make you happy? No. Can sexiness make you happy? No. It can make you temporarily happy. It can make you feel good, but it can't give you inner happiness. Can your mate fulfill you? No, your mate cannot fulfill you. I've had a lot of times in my life where I was looking for my man to fulfill me and I was walking around bitter because of something he had done or said. Yeah, it might have been wrong or something that I might have had a good point about, but at the end of the day, it's up to me to heal from that. He can't heal me from things, even if he's the person who accosted me. He can't heal me, right? He can't heal me. Only I can heal me. Okay? So only loving yourself and playing your role can help you, fam. It's the only thing that can make you happy is loving yourself and playing your role. And I cannot stress that enough, okay? But we're going to get into some action. Y'all know me. We're going to get into some actionable steps you can follow, though, because this is easier said than done. If you look in your bank account and all your money gone, or somebody robbed you, or you're sick, or you're infirmed somehow, or you can't do what you want to do, or people are treating you bad because of something that might be wrong with you, or something that might be right with you, and people are treating you bad, or whatever it is, right? You have to. You're the driver of that. You're the driver of that. No one is responsible for that, and a lot of people don't care. So that's another thing. You got to play your role. If you're not playing that role, you're wasting your time wondering why people don't like you and stuff like that. You're only here to play your role, and that's it. But how to discover your role and stuff is what we're going to be talking about, and how to keep yourself from becoming so depressed, especially because of all the white supremacy and the crazy energy that be in the air sometimes. It's hard. So I recognize that. I'm going to give you guys some steps that you can actually follow to heal yourself today. Right? If this is a word for you, I'm talking to you. Or if you know somebody who maybe could hear this, please send this to them. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to be talking about mental and spiritual depression, which I think goes a lot deeper than just mental depression. Being spiritually depressed is really, to me, the root of all evil. Okay? So nothing outside of self can make you happy. So let's talk a little bit more about who God is. Let's talk about who God is and who is God. Okay? Because I talked earlier about the fact that you signed a contract to come here. You signed a contract. And I'm being metaphorical, okay? So don't be big literal. So you mean to tell me you were sitting with God at a table and there was a piece of paper? Shut up. You know what I mean, right? You signed a contract to come here. In fact, if you've ever seen the movie Soul, Soul is about this. Soul is about you picking a certain thing that you're going to specify, that you're going to be good at on earth. You're a little soul in like soul kindergarten, and you pick out your talent. So according to this movie, I picked out being an artist and a graphic designer and a musician before I was born. And supposedly you pick your parents and everything. But you sign a contract saying, hey, when I get there though, I'm going to fulfill this purpose, right? I'm going to help bring balance to the world by doing this thing, right? We need garbage men. We need nurses. We need, you know what I mean? We need counselors. We need whatever. So everybody can't be a counselor, can they? Everybody can't be a garbage man. Everybody can't be a chef, right? What would the world be if everybody just picked the same thing to do, right? So for the ma'at of it all, for the balancement of it all, we pick things that are going to be our talents, supposedly. But then when we get here, we have to fulfill whatever our purpose is. And if you watch the movie Soul, so let me give you a little anecdote. In the movie, he comes to Earth, right? He dies before his time. So there's I don't want to spoil it for you or whatever. But I am going to spoil it a little bit. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. But I'm not going to spoil it too much. It's a really good movie. You can still thoroughly enjoy it. It made me cry like a baby because it's an animated movie. And it's voiced by Jamie Foxx. And he's a musician. And he always felt like he missed his calling by becoming a music teacher at like a high school. He felt like he had missed his calling because he was so good at playing the piano. He was like, I'm in here with these little kids. They can barely play music, and I'm not being recognized for my talent. So he was fawning after this high-class jazz musician that played at this club, this nightclub on the street. She played every Wednesday or every night or whenever she played, right? She was amazing. So he finally gets his chance to audition for this lady. He gets the job. They play this amazing set, like no other set before, right? This groundbreaking, like, jazz set at this club. So it's over with. They walking out of the club. He's talking to the singer, the jazz lady who gave him his shot, and he's like, okay, woo, we killed it, y'all. We was in the zone, right? He was like, so now what? She said, what? He's like, so what we gonna do now? She said, we're gonna come back here tomorrow and do the same shit again, right? What's a kid's movie? So she didn't say SHIT, but she's like, we're gonna come back tomorrow. We're gonna do it again. And so he went home and he was kind of underwhelmed. He had imagined all his life what it would be like to kill it on stage like that and have people give you a standing ovation for your performance. He had received that, and it did not make him happy. He learned that his purpose is different from his talent and his skill set. So just because you have a skill set and a talent, it does not mean it's your purpose. It's a vehicle for you to fulfill your purpose. All right? So that's what he learned. What he learned was really inspiring children to play music. That was his purpose. And he didn't realize that because he was so busy chasing what he thought was his purpose. He thought his talent and his purpose were the exact same thing, right? So that I thought that was a really good movie to demonstrate that about life and about the nature of having a soul. You saw Soul? Yeah. And about the nature of having a soul. So, cool. So it's a very good movie if you want. I know you saw it too with your Disney self, girl. I know you saw it. And it's an amazing movie. And I like it because they don't have, it's not like, it's a black, it features a black character. It doesn't have a bunch of weird stuff in it that's not for kids. Like, it's a really good way of making children, or talking about something like spirituality with children and making them be able to see with their eyes, like, how that premise works. So I think it's a good movie for that. But another good movie about the nature of God and the nature of life is this movie called Defending Your Life. It's a movie from the 80s, and it's about dying and going to this way station where you're to be judged. And when they judge you, they're trying to figure out whether they're going to send you back to earth to do it all over again, or if you get to go to the next plane of understanding, right? So it's not about going to heaven or hell. It's about repeating the same cycle until you get it right. And that's really what life is, y'all. You're in a chamber. You're in chambers in life. And if you can't learn from the chamber will become your burden, right? So there's a movie called Shaolin Master Killer. I've showed it before, right? Shaolin, let me type it and pull it up. Shaolin, I'm going to pull up Defending Your Life too. I highly recommend seeing Defending Your Life. It's from the 80s. It has Meryl Streep in it and a comedian dude from back in the day. It's really funny. It's a funny movie. When the dude dies and goes to this place while they're having trial about his life, you can eat all the food you want. You'll never get fat. Everything you eat tastes good there. Everything is beautiful. All music is beautiful. All food is beautiful. It's a really, really dope movie, and it's hilarious too. Like, it's 80s hilarious, right? But it's deep. It'll really make you think a lot about your life, and it's very Egyptian, which I'm going to get into in a minute. It's very Egyptian on the low, but y'all, on the low, Christianity is dumb Egyptian. It's very, and I'm about to talk about that in a minute. We're talking about who is God. So Shaolin Master Killer. Shaolin Master Killer. I can never type on this sticky ass keyboard. All right, check it out. So this is Shaolin Master Killer. It's Gordon Liu's most famous movie, and yeah, he's the man. It's a really good movie. But why am I bringing this up? So when they talk about the 36 chambers and Wu-Tang Clan and stuff, this is what they're talking about. They're referencing the Shaolin movie, the 36 Chambers of Shaolin, aka Shaolin Master Killer. Now I'm bringing this up because in this movie, this guy, he goes through these different chambers, and he finds out that he can't go from one chamber to the next until he masters the one he's in. So he goes through the wrist room, the eye room, the headbutt room, the room where you learn how to damn near walk on logs and walk on floating logs in water and shit. It's really, really good. But I bring this up to say, you can't go to the next chamber until you master the one you in, fam. A lot of us are trying to skip rungs on the ladder, and you can't do that. If you're in a chamber where where the universe is teaching you patience, and then your ass don't want to be in the chamber, you don't want to learn patience, the universe will just make you have to learn patience. To me, that's what the coronavirus is. It don't matter if it's real, it ain't real. It don't matter what you think about it. It exists in the psyches of humanity now. You know what it made everybody do? Clean up. It made everybody wipe things off. It made everybody stop spitting in everybody's food and talking all over everybody's food and shit. It made all of you nasty people clean. It made all of us nasty people clean. It made us it made us have to be separate from each other. It made us realize how much we love each other because we've been separated from each other. It's made you realize how much you love your family. Has it not done that? That's the universe correcting wrongs, correcting imbalancement. That's what happens. And sometimes it's extreme because something extreme needs to happen. The racism was getting, and it still is, but the racism was getting stupid dumb out of hand. So the universe shut down and made you have to see the racism. Because we're coming into the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius is supposed to be a time of learning and knowledge and y'all know the song that this is the dawning of the age. So if you know the words to it, you know that they say in the age of Aquarius it's supposed to be harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. And they're talking about there being no more falsehoods. They say something about mystic crystal revelations. All of that stuff. This is the time that we're living in, right? So it's not even mystical. It's just the energy balance of the world. And the reason why some people can see this kind of stuff coming is because they're in tune with themselves and they're in tune with nature, okay? So without being too deep, You are God. You're inside of yourself, judging yourself at all times. You're and you will be used to bring balancement if need be. And that's how that works. Just like when you watch The Matrix, when somebody start waking up in the Matrix would use any person to become an agent. So it'll be just a dude driving a truck, and all of a sudden that person will become an agent, literally just to stop this one being from doing this thing. The universe is like that. The universe will use you and use anybody you got to use to bring a certain balancement. And if something gets off balance, it'll start creating the thing that's going to bring the balance. Just like if you watch The Legend of Korra. The Legend of Korra, there's a season that's completely about the harmonic what is it called? Harmonic it's not harmonic alignment. What was it called, y'all? Damn, I can't remember. Harmonic divergence, I think, or whatever it is. But it was this thing that they did, and it brought back all the airbenders. You know, when you watch Avatar Aang, he's the last airbender. His whole race had been wiped out by the Fire Nation. When Avatar Korra becomes the Avatar, the universe uses her to bring back the airbenders. To bring back the airbenders. So this is real. This happens in real life. These kind of things actually happen in real life, right? So, Palm, where you at? Love that movie. I don't know if are you talking about The Matrix or are you talking about I talked about a few movies, so I don't know which one you meant. But hey, how you doing? All right. Anyway, so yeah. So if you're just joining in to, say peace. You know what I mean? I don't mind if you guys lurk, but say peace. But we're talking about unhappiness, y'all. We're talking about spiritual unhappiness. We're talking about depression. We're talking about ways that you can self. And I'm trying to give you some perspective on how to be happy normally. And I'm not a therapist or anything like that, but I do know what I'm talking about. I'm a grown ass woman and I've been through some things. In fact, let me be really candid with you and share a little story. My first time getting pregnant, I had a stillbirth. I gave birth to a baby that was not alive. We had named the baby and all of that stuff. We had a funeral for the baby. I can talk about it now because I went through it and went through all my healing that I needed to go through. But I had a whole nother set of locks before this. I cut my locks off and all of that to help myself heal through it. And I was able to do that. But I saw that depression. That was coming over me. And I was like, okay, I'm one of them people, I would never kill myself. But in that moment, I was like, if I keep thinking the way I'm thinking, I could see those suicidal thoughts down that road. And so because I saw those thoughts down the road, I was like, I'm not going down that road. I'm not going to entertain that kind of thinking because that's not the way to think. And I was able to heal myself from it. So we all are our own therapists first, fam. Before you go to therapy, you're your own therapist first. Okay? And a lot of therapy does not address spirituality at all. It's very mental based. It's very mind based. And the mind is not first. The spirit is first. The soul, then the spirit, then the mind. Okay? Then the body. That's the hierarchy. So anything that originated, that shows up in the physical world originates in the spiritual realm first. Before you do a thing, you have to think the thing. Before you think the thing, you have to be inspired to think the thing. That inspiration is spirituality. Okay? Boom. So let's talk about the weighing of the heart. Now this, I'm about to get a little bit deep, so please y'all just bear with me, okay? All right? We're going to call it Judgment Day. Let's do that. Let's call this one Judgment Day. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Why am I calling this Judgment Day, y'all? Because I want to point out something to you. I have a whole video about this, but I need to redo the video because my audio is messed up. And I sound like a complete man on that video. I have no idea why the audio is like that on that video, but it's a really good video about Ma'at. So let's talk about Ma'at real quick, okay? Let's talk about Ma'at. Now remember all that balancement? We're still talking about Judgment Day, y'all. But I'm talking about Ma'at as well. Because I can't talk about Ma'at and not talk about Judgment Day. And I can't talk about Judgment Day and not talk about Ma'at, all right? So, some of us believe that when you die, you're going to be judged, right? Some people believe you're being judged right now. I am of the knowledge that you're judging. You are the judge. You're the God inside of yourself that's judging yourself. Today, if you stab a nigga and steal his money, you're going to, if you have any, unless you're a psychopath, you're going to go home and lay your head on that pillow at night and you're going to judge yourself and you're going to go, damn, I shouldn't have did that. That was messed up, right? That's the God in you doing that. That's the Ma'at in you, weighing your heart at all times. So there's the principle of being judged when you die comes from Egypt. That's why I get very upset when Christianity in particular likes to diss Egypt, because Christianity is so Egyptian in nature. I can't even begin to explain how plagiarized and how Egyptian in nature Christianity actually really is. And one of the ways I'm going to show you today, though, and this is going to help you, this all ties into whether or not you're happy on a day-to-day basis. And make sure we're not missing anything. You're always killing some live food. Good show. Thank you. I'm trying to help. Man. Like, a lot of us have these kind of superficial ideals that we want more followers and stuff, and I do too. But I want to help heal people. We always talk about that black girl magic. I'm a black woman, and I actually know the power of black girl magic. So that's why I'm trying to impart these wisdoms on you guys, because I'm a mother. I'm a mother, and I'm past 40, so I feel like I know some stuff. You know what I mean? A little something. So, and I want you guys to share your experience. So feel free to share in the chat. All right, let's get it in, though. Let's get it in real quick about this. I don't want to lose y'all with this, because I know people don't like to get but so deep. But I like to get deep. All right, let me pull it up. So when you're talking about different religions, most religions deal with the concept of the judgment or the weighing of the heart. All right. And the weighing of the heart comes, let me see, weighing of the heart. It comes from Egypt, y'all. Somebody just followed me, I think on Facebook. Weighing of the heart ceremony. All right, let's see if it'll come up. Yes. All right. Now, everybody's seen this before. Y'all see this? Let's see. Let's look at this one. Okay. So do y'all see this? All right. What this is the weighing of the heart ceremony. Now, if you've ever seen this before, you're looking at where Christianity and Islam and other religions get the judgment scene, the judgment day. It comes from this. It comes directly from this. So here's Osar, aka Osiris. He's the judge, right? Here's the scales of Ma'at. Here's Tahuti, the person who wrote down all the deeds you did when you were alive. And this should be Ani, the initiate. You are Ani, the initiate, okay? You're walking through life being initiated into different orders, ways of thinking, different frequencies and different chambers of life you're walking through. Remember we talked about those chambers a minute ago? And you're being judged at each point, just like when you're in school. You take that big final exam to see if you can go to the next level. There's nothing new about that. That's what this is all about. So let's talk a little bit about Ma'at first before we get all the way into the judgment scene. And then I'm going to tell you why I'm going into all of this and why it applies to you, whether you believe in it or not. So this is Ma'at. Whenever you see Ma'at, and Ma'at is often mistaken for Aset. Right here is a good example, right? This is not Ma'at. This is Aset. Now, hold on. Where's that picture at? Where's that picture? This one. Come on, y'all. See that right there? That is not Ma'at. That's Aset, because you can see that big ass throne on her head. See that throne on her head? That's because that's Aset. But people mix them up because she has wings a lot of times in these pictures. But when you see a chick with a feather on her head like this, with the wings, that is Ma'at. Okay? Ma'at is at the crux and at the center of all Comedic spiritual teaching, and really at the crux and the center of most religions on earth. Okay? So when people talk about God being a woman, this is kind of what they mean, whether they know it or not. Now, this depiction, this is a new school depiction of Ma'at, apparently, but they did it right. They made her nice and brown. And see how she has that? Like she's weighing something, like scales? Because her symbol is the scales, okay? Her symbol is the scales. The justice system stole, let me see, Justitia, Lustitia, justice, just, ice, scales. So the plagiarism from Egypt is actually retarded. It's at a retarded level. Okay, so when you're looking at these scales, and this lady who's blind, she's called Justitia or Lustitia, okay? And they took the system of judging someone and sending them to jail from the Comedic system of the weighing of the heart ceremony, okay? So now we're getting somewhere. So what does Ma'at stand for? Let's talk about that real quick. Let's pull this up. Let me pull up a new document. Hold on, give me a moment. Let's talk about this. It's good to have you guys too. I see I'm starting to get a few people in the chat here. All right. So my aunt, I'll make that a lot bigger. Actually, that's what she said. Ew. Okay, y'all can see that pretty good, I think. Okay, my aunt stands for truth, justice. See, I have a sticky S key. Justice, righteousness. If y'all know them, call them out. Righteousness. Cheers. I can type, I swear. I swear to God I can type. Reciprocity. Love. Law. Order. Very important. And balance. All right? These are the principles of the universe. And it used to be their job. It used to be Ma'at's job was to battle against Isfet. I'm going to pull up Isfet in a minute. Isfet is chaos. And when I say it used to be her job, I say that because back in the day, Ma'at was a bigger, she had a kind of a more, it was more her purpose to battle Isfet. And then she became more associated with this after time, right? Truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, love, law, order, and balance. These principles are what we call morality. Morality, y'all. And the 10 commandments, come from the 42 laws of Ma'at. And the 10 commandments come right from the 42 laws of Ma'at. Come on, break it down, Winton. 12 judges, divine law. Attorney pleading case. Asaru sitting in the judgment box. Bailiff standing by. So much came from this one scene, the Per Im Heru. That's right, brother. Come on, Winton. Come on, Winton. All right, what else you had to say? Christianity is Comedic. Egyptian culture started with Whitey. Very important distinction as morality went way south after conquerors. Kemet was from 70,000 years at high culture up till 332 BC. Egypt was from then up till now. Enemy rule. Following this guideline is essential so we don't get lost doing needed research. Come on, it's important because it's confusing. And then they've confused it more by stealing it and whipping it all up in there. So when you go to Wikipedia and you look up Justitia and Lustitia, they'll cutely say that it came from Ma'at, but then they'll keep going as if it didn't come from Ma'at. They'll throw it in there and then they'll keep going. All right? So why am I going into all of this, y'all? I'm going into this because this is a part of your spirituality, your spiritual makeup. These are not just deities that we used to worship or that we still worship or that we invoke. This is a part of your spiritual makeup. There's this thing called the Comedic tree of life, and it deals with your spiritual makeup. The spheres on this tree, right? They deal with different faculties of your spirit. The warrior faculty, the divine knowledge faculty, the faculty of discernment, which is Anpu, Anubu, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. All of that is represented here in the judgment scene. And what you're supposed to do, they call it the 42 laws of Ma'at, or sometimes they call it the 42 negative confessions, which I hate because it's not the 42 negative confessions. It's the 42 declarations of freedom from sin before the tribunal. Now, the tribunal is just the judges. You're sitting up here in front of these judges. They're judging you, and their Tahuti is calling your deeds off. Everything you ever did, everything you did with your hands, feet, and mouth is being called off right here. And your heart is represented. Your heart is the representative of Ma'at. So when your heart is being weighed, you ever hear somebody say, God knows my heart, right? God knows your heart is referencing this. It's referencing this thing right here, where your heart is your deeds, and your deeds are being weighed against the feather of Ma'at. So you see the feather right there? There go the feather, there go your heart. This is Anubis, who people like to call the god of the dead, right? That's not really what's going on here. Like, you can't just say, oh, that's the god of the sun, or that's the god of the dead, or the god of... It's not that simple. It's not that simple. The Comedic spiritual system is about your spirit. These are personifications of your spirit, things that are going on inside of your actual spiritual faculty, all right? So your ability to be moral and judge and weigh yourself. Should I cross the street now, or should I cross it later? If I cross it now, I'm going to get hit by the car. If I cross it later, I won't get hit by the car, right? That's judgment. But doing that in a moral way is what Ma'at is all about. You are here on earth to live within Ma'at, to find your purpose, to live that purpose within the laws of Ma'at. That's it. That's why you're not happy, because you're trying to live outside of the laws of nature. Ma'at is nature, all right? This is the very nature of the world, is Ma'at. Physics and spirituality. Okay. I think I've made that abundantly clear, all right? So, family, let me get back to, we're talking about why you're unhappy. There we go. We're talking about why you're unhappy and things you can do and things you need to know if you want to be in control of your happiness. So I went into Ma'at to show you that one reason why you may not be happy is because you ain't shit. What do I mean by that? You need to be moral, fam. You need to be moral. You can't just walk around through life knocking stuff over and not having any care for the repercussions. You can't just be walking around spilling milk all over the place and not cleaning it up, fam. And not learning your lesson from the spilling of milk. You can't do that. No one is allowed to do that, right? Only people that can do that are people who don't know any better. There are some people who are put in the earth and they aren't given the faculty of discernment and morality. But these are called psychopaths. But other than that, most of you are not psychopaths. You're just living in a world that's being run by psychopaths. And so there's no stopping. There's nothing to stop you from just putting your whole ass online right now, except morality. Because you could do it. If you want, Lizzo got her ass out. You know what I mean? Instagram didn't flag her post with her playing the flute with her whole butt out, right? Which is hilarious. I wish she wouldn't do that. I wish she wouldn't be a buffoon like that. But Lizzo, they ain't take her post down and she had her whole butt out. It's up to Lizzo to have morality and be like, you know what? It's children in here. It's people watching me. Why am I out here representing? I'm a whole flutist who can read sheet music in real time and play it. Do you know what a skill and a talent that is? I don't know if a flutist is a real thing. I don't know what you call a person who plays a flute, right? But she's a whole flute master, right? Can sing too, and apparently has some songwriting ability. But she thinks that she has to do that because her self-esteem is low, all right? So morality and the judgment is up to you. You have to judge yourself every day. You have to weigh yourself every day. And though 42 laws of Ma'at are not, so let's look into that real quick, and then I'm going to move on from this. Then I'm going to get back into the more simple things you can do, okay? Let's look at the 42 laws. All right, now the 42 laws, just like anything ancient, it's been translated, mistranslated. Sometimes it's not 42. I've seen 46. I've seen 43. But usually it's 42, but they do vary depending on the translation. And no translation is going to be exactly what they were saying way back in ancient Kemet, right? But let's look at this. Let's look at this one. I think this is a good one to look at. So these are the 42 laws and ideals of Ma'at. That's what they're calling them. Now I want you to notice how these are worded. I have not committed sin. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not stolen. I have not slain men and women. This is where the 10 Commandments comes from, y'all. I have not slain men and women. I have not stolen food. I have not swindled offerings. I have not stolen from God. I have not told lies. I have not carried away food. So, some of them are the same. I have not stolen food. I have not carried away food. It's the same thing. I have not cursed. I have not closed my ears to the truth. Wow, I love that. I have not committed adultery. I have not made anyone cry. I have not felt sorrow without reason. That's called depression, y'all. I have not assaulted anyone. I am not deceitful. I have not stolen anyone's land. So what's supposed to happen? Let me just read them all. I have not been an eavesdropper. That meant I minded my own damn business. I like that. You better have a mind your own business one. I have minded my own damn business. I have not lied on a person. I have not been angry without reason. I have not seduced anyone's wife. I have not polluted myself. I have not terrorized anyone. I have not disobeyed the law. I have not been excessively angry. I have not cursed God. I have not behaved with violence. I have not caused disruption of peace. I have not acted hastily or without thought. I have not overstepped my boundaries of concern. So I have not got all in somebody's business, even not just eavesdropping, but getting all in their business and running their affairs. I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. I have not worked evil. I have not used evil thoughts, words or deeds. I love it. I have not polluted the water. Come with it, Ma'at. I have not spoken angrily or arrogantly. I have not cursed anyone in thought, word, or deed. I have not placed myself on a pedestal. Come on, Kanye West. I have not stolen that which belongs to God. I have not stolen from or disrespected the dead or the deceased. Tomb Raider, Laura Croft Tomb Raider. I have not taken food from a child. I have not acted with insolence, and I have not destroyed property belonging to God. Now, most of us have done those things. So it doesn't mean that you're going to burn or anything just because you did those things. What's supposed to happen is when you go to sleep in the morning, when you go to sleep at night, you're supposed to count these things off. Okay, today, I have not stolen from a child. I have not acted with insolence. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to, it's like a self-check every night that you're supposed to run before you lay your head on the pillow. You're laying your head on the pillow is like dying, right? So it's deep. It's deep. So you're going through this process all through your life of judging yourself and weighing yourself every day and night when you do different deeds every day and night. But then there's going to be supposedly like the big judgment. Okay? So you don't have to believe that this is going to happen physically, literally. It's happening as a metaphor right now to you. It's called karma. It's called karma, right? And karma is instant. A lot of us think that karma is mystical when really it's just the result of your actions. Karma is the result of your actions. It could be good, it could be bad. It could be simple. It doesn't have to be. Let me give you an example. Good karma comes from if I make a good meal and I eat it. My karma is the good food going in my body and nourishing me. So karma is not always a way to fix something that was done wrong. Sometimes it's just the result of your actions, right? So let's see what you guys have to say. We're going to move on to the next thing. I confess I have not. This is extremely, come on. I'll let y'all read that. So negative confessions are very important as they allow you to stay in balance and understanding of my divine nature. And now I confess I have not done this. This is extremely different from the commandments in which you don't know self as divine. So you must be commanded, come on fam, to do what was taught to you by your nature in the Comedic system. The difference is indwelling divinity versus innate evil nature. Huge difference, taught by omission, not commission. This is great. Thank you very much. And how are you doing, XZX? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I like the way the name looks on the screen. All right. So again, I'm going into my eye because I cannot sit up here and talk to y'all about healing your depression and not talk about my eye. And in a minute, we're going to talk about Willie Lynch and all of that stuff too, because I can't leave that out either. One reason why, you guys, I have never really been a big fan of traditional Western therapy. I don't think it hurts to talk to another person. Some people do just need to talk. So I'm not saying that therapy cannot help you. It can help you depending on your therapist. All therapists aren't built the same. But Western therapy in general, for Black and brown people, it does not address our spiritual systems enough. And it does not, or at all. And it doesn't address a lot of times what you eat and what you put in your body at all. And it does not address the negative, horrible, self-loathing effects of white supremacy. So we're going to talk about that in a minute as well. All right, good. So back to the lecture at hand. Excuse me. So the weighing of the heart is the ceremony of you and you judging yourself on a day-to-day basis. Okay, cool. And then you judging your life and calling, if you're going to call yourself God, because a lot of 5%ers, that's what they call themselves. That's what, peace God, you know what I mean? The God left lessons on my dresser. The God. But we don't walk in morality. Right? And so you can't call yourself God if you're not responsible, because a mortal reacts and a God responds. And if you're a God, you respond, again, like I always say, to the spilling of milk. A mortal spills the milk and they go, I spilled my almond milk all over the floor. A God is going to be like, yo, I spilled the milk on the floor. Yo, look at the pattern it's making on the floor. Let me clean it up. But what can I learn from the fact that I just spilled this milk? Also, I'm not emotional about it. I'm just going to clean it up. And I'm going to learn from the spilling of it and from the cleaning up of it. Do you understand? Okay, very important. So now let's talk about, let me see. So I talked about Judgment Day. I talked about all of that. So I talked about God being your conscience, being your judge. I talked about psychopaths. Okay, good enough for me, right? That's good enough. The manifestations of the holographic brain. Let's talk about the holographic brain, kids. All right. The holographic brain. And this is just a term that describes the fact that you can project your own reality and make your own reality. All right. You can think a thing and it become your reality. Let me give you a real life example that we all can relate to. Have you ever pretended to have a headache so that you could skip school or something like that, and then you ended up with a headache? Has anybody ever given you a placebo and told you this was medicine and you thought it was medicine so it healed you for real in real life? Okay, that's the holographic brain. That's you making your reality with your mind. Let's talk about word magic. Word magic. Word magic deals with you being able to speak things into existence. One of the faculties of the holographic brain is the ability to use words. The fact that you can speak anything into existence, that you could talk about something and then it happened. It happens to me all the time. Usually the more you get into dealing with self and really the true sciences of self, it happens to you more and more and more. But words are powerful. They're mantras, and you can summon things with words. You can summon realities with words, and you can craft your own reality with words. That's why it's called the magic word. Right? Y'all heard that before? And it ain't just abracadabra. It's whatever you say. If you tell yourself, I'm God, nothing or no one can be against me, then that's going to be your reality. If you tell yourself, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, nobody want to be with me, that's going to be your reality. Even if somebody does want to be with you, you're not going to be able to see that. I told my son, so yeah, let's do an exercise. I did this with my son. Let's do an exercise. So I want you to close your eyes, if you can, unless you're driving or something. And I want you to imagine, let me see. I want you to imagine a young black man. I want you to imagine him having an afro. I want you to imagine a young black man with an afro and an afro pick sticking out of the afro. I want you to imagine a young black man with an afro and an afro pick sticking out of the afro, and the afro pick is red. It's red, black, and green. I want you to imagine that this afro pick has a fist for the handle, right? I want you to imagine that this young black man is a short man. He has a beard. The beard has bits of gray in it, even though he's young. I want you to imagine that he is wearing hammer pants. I want you to imagine he's doing the typewriter like MC Hammer. I want you to imagine he's doing Kung Fu. I want you to imagine him doing Kung Fu in the middle of a busy street in New York. Shirtless with hammer pants, with an afro pick, a red, black, and green afro pick, with a beard with bits of gray in it. Okay. During that exercise, did you see those things in your head or no? You saw those things. If somebody describes something to you, your mind makes a picture of it. Does it not? Your mind makes a damn hologram in your head, fam. But then it goes further because you can project that into the world. You're in control of that stuff. That's why people say be careful what you wish for, because you make and project your own reality and you're at the center of your own universe. Again, if you don't understand that, you're not going to be able to be happy, because you're going to think, some people have somebody else at the center of their universe and not themselves. And the only way I can really entertain that is if it's your child. If it's your child, I can understand you putting them before you. But even then, you got to make sure you are healthy to take care of that child. You have to focus on yourself a little bit first, so that you can be healthy enough to even help this other being, right? And you're helping that person, that new being, to know that they're the center of their own universes. Poetry can do that. Ooh, definitely. Poetry can do that. It can take you somewhere, right? Okay. So when you're talking about, let's back to Egypt, right? When you're talking about the magic word, and the wordsmith of Kemet is Thoth. And the word thought and the word Thoth are related, right? Let's show Thoth up here. Here's Thoth. What is Thoth doing, y'all? Thoth is writing. Whenever you, I love this. Good God Almighty. Whenever you see Tahuti writing, whenever you see Tahuti, Tahuti's writing. Tahuti deals with medicine and healing too, right? So writing and the magic word and thought and thought and all of that stuff is related too. So you really can't get away from the comedic system. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna drill you too much more. I know some people don't be ready for all that. Right? Okay. But words are powerful and they're magic. So you can't just say anything out of your mouth. Words make contracts with people and with yourself. It comes from the word thought. The word thought comes from the word thought, y'all. Okay? So, and thought is the god of medicine and mathematics and science and healing and writing and words. All right? So all of that stuff is interwoven. This is the reason why you can heal yourself with chanting and with different tones and stuff like that. So now we're starting to get through it. I'm going to round it up probably in the next 20 minutes maybe. What are some telltale signs of low self-esteem, y'all? Self-doubt. So let's do that. Let's do that. Is your self-esteem low? Let's do a self-esteem. Let's call it this. Self-esteem checkup. Self-esteem checkup. All right. Self-esteem checkup. Bam. First of all, do you doubt and second guess yourself all the time? Do you go to do something important or something, and I ain't talking about something you don't know how to do. If you don't know how to steer an airplane, then yeah, you're gonna doubt yourself and second guess. But let's say you're really, really good at steering an airplane, and then it's time to do it, but there's somebody who you're, spooked out by sitting in the cockpit with you, and now you acting like you don't know how to fly a plane. There are people like that. Their self-esteem falls as soon as they're challenged by somebody who they see as having more self-esteem than them. And now they don't know how to do nothing. Things that they are confident about. So second guessing and self-doubt and self-loathing. Do you do that? Yeah. Self-loathing. That means you got low self-esteem. If you hate yourself, you got low self-esteem. Duh. Poor hygiene and personal appearance. If you're walking around looking bad every day, right? If you don't wash your face good and you don't think you need to brush your teeth in the morning and you don't fix your clothing after you come out of the bathroom and you don't make those kind of adjustments because you don't care how you look or you don't care how you smell, that's a sign of low self-esteem too. It's not just being trifling. It's not just being a person who doesn't know how to clean up or something. It's a telltale sign of low self-esteem if you have poor hygiene and poor personal appearance, okay? Stuttering can be a sign of low self-esteem, usually. Self-sabotage. Telling yourself you can't do something before you even try it. Low self-esteem. Jealousy at somebody else's success. Somebody who is not competing with you in any way, and you're jealous of them and you're mad at them because they're successful. You have low self-esteem, fam. You hater. You hater, you. Keeping poor company is a sign of low self-esteem. If you look to the left and you got hater Bob, and you look to the right and you got user Sally and gossip Bonquisha and unhealthy Jim around you, you know, you don't keep good company and you probably have low self-esteem. Sorry. It's the truth. Wasting time. Time is money and time is everything because unlike money, you can't get time back. So if you think that you have time to waste, that shows that you don't value yourself and you don't value your own time. If you spend a lot of time doing non-valuable things that can't make you any money, can't get you any further in life, can't gain you anything spiritually, can't help you get better health, and you spend a lot of time doing it, you don't value your time that much. And if you're late a lot, that's another way. If you're bad with time and you're really, really late, I think one reason why black people, aside from time just not being real, time ain't real. So there's that. So CP time, some of it is just because we're African and our sense of time is just different. You know, we're not linear people. We're not a linear people. We're a circular people. And our idea of getting somewhere on time, you know, I think we just have a different sensibility about it. But another reason why I think that we don't get anywhere on time and that we operate we're really late even to our own events, even to things that are really important in our lives. Because I can see you being late to go work for the white man. But what about you? You know, what about your own stuff that we tell each other we're going to do? We'll be late as shit for that. Or we'll stand each other up. You know how hard it is for me to get anything done with other black people because they keep canceling or they just are late as hell or whatever it is. You know what I mean? One reason why I think that we have a collective sense of being late all the time is because we suffer from a universal low self-esteem that's brought on by Willie Lynch and white supremacy and stuff. Being told that black is ugly and black is bad. I don't think we value our time because we don't value ourselves. When you value your time and when you value yourself, you value your time. Do you think somebody is going to come up to Pharrell and say, hey, Pharrell, can you come to my little rinky-dink picnic? Hell no, because they figured that he doesn't have time to go to something small time like that. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing, but I'm just saying that when somebody is a valued member of society, you're never gonna forget their value. You're gonna consider it when you go to invite them to your party. You're gonna go, okay, this is a big time. This not a big time party. I'm not gonna invite him to this. Well, you don't expect Pharrell to just answer your phone call because he's Pharrell. He's busy, and he's valued. He's valued, and he's valuable, and he knows it, right? That's why he has secretaries and people to take his messages for him because he can't personally attend to everybody's needs. He doesn't have time to do that. You need to look at yourself the same way. The more I have begun to value myself, especially over the year 2020, I don't be having time for stuff. And I know it. I know how to say no. I know how to be like, you know what? I don't think I have time for that. I don't think I have time to do a good job at that. Right? So that's a telltale sign of low self-esteem is wasting your own time. Complacency, timidness, and fearfulness. Being just scared as hell. Being complacent as hell. Telltale sign, low self-esteem. Right? I don't know. You don't value yourself. You don't think you can do it, right? You're scared of what you're scared, and you're doubtful of your whatever you're doubtful of, right? And fear leads to the dark side, don't it? But ain't nothing wrong with the dark side. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. Abusive tendencies and bullying. Are you a damn bully, fam? Do you walk around treating people bad? 50 Cent. 50 Cent is a bully, right? He's mean. He's mean. He talks bad about people. You know, oh, Mayweather, he can't read. Da-da-da. He jokes people. I remember he said, he's funny. It's hilarious. I remember when he said Vivica Fox was musty. Back in the day, he was like, Vivica Fox be musty. I was like, damn. Damn, 50. But, you know, it hurts people's feelings, 50, for you to say certain shit. You know, walk around joking people because they can't read and shit. Like, who does that? Whatever. You know what I mean? Right? He didn't care how that made people feel who can't read. I guess a person might be like, well, see, who cares about Mayweather? He's rich and he's an asshole and blah, blah, blah. I don't care if 50 Cent joke him. But what about other people who can't read? 50 Cent? What about people who are your followers, who are poor and they weren't raised with an education? What about that? Right? He's a bully. I'm not sure. You pick fights with people and you bully people because you got low self-esteem. No other reason. And a lot of times bullies can't even fight. It's just used to people with lower self-esteem than them, accepting their bullshit. Accepting undue blame is a telltale sign of low self-esteem. You're not responsible for something, but you feel like you are. You feel like it's your fault something bad happened. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm like, yo, why are you apologizing? You know? You didn't do anything. Stop assuming that you're wrong. Low self-esteem. On the flip side, never accepting blame is a telltale sign of low self-esteem, and it's gonna be why you're unhappy, fam. If you can't accept blame for things that happen let me tell you something. Accepting blame is a godly trait. Accepting due blame, not undue blame, due blame is a God's trait. Looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? I'm wrong. I owe that person an apology. Or I'm wrong. That went crazy because of me. I need to fix that, right? I need to fix that free of charge because I'm wrong. You feel me? That's a sign of godhood, and you're going to be happy if you can do that. If you can accept blame, and if you can look in the mirror and say, I am wrong, and then I'm not going to do that again. Not only am I wrong, but I'm going to correct it with my eye, with balance. I'm going to correct it. You're going to be all right, right? You won't be unhappy long, because a big part of unhappiness is people who cannot see that they are wrong. Don't y'all hate that? I hate when people they will not admit that they're wrong. It can't be them. Oh, it can't be me. I'm late because this. It's not just because I woke up too late to be on time, right? All right. So now let's talk about racism, Willie Lynch syndrome, and self-hatred, okay? Let's talk about racial self-loathing. When I was writing this up, I was like, Novocaine, you can't leave this out. You can't leave this out. Every time Frances Cress Welsing, may she rest in peace. Frances Cress Welsing said that every time you wake up in the morning and you watch your little bit of TV, you've gotten your daily dose of white supremacy. And she's right. TV is trying to do a little bit better, but for the most part, it is laden with still messages that make you feel like you gotta, as a black person, you can't just be a strong black person. I rarely just see a strong black man on something. I mean, Allstate, yeah. Samuel Jackson, yeah. A few characters here or there, but for the most part, if it's a black character, especially a big, strong black male character, he has to be doing something that's going to soften him. Something effeminizing or something really vanilla, right? Hey, you guys, so-and-so. Sometimes I'll hear somebody talking like that and I'll look up and I'm like, that's a black man talking like that? Wow. We have come to a new place in the world or whatever. But that soft type of black person is being pushed on us. That negative black person. Blackballed, blacklisted, black, everything is bad, right? White, everything is good. Light skin, everything is good. Light eyes. Oh, you got pretty eyes. Why? Because they light? Because they green? Or because they're another color other than brown? Oh, you got pretty hair. Why? Because it's wavy and it looks more European, right? You got good hair because it looks more European, huh? That's why it's good hair, huh? Black people. So when we go to therapy, it's not addressing any of this. That's one reason why I don't like Christianity a lot of times, because Christianity does not address this kind of stuff. We conveniently look over the fact that Christianity was used to put us in this position, right? So nothing wrong with loving the teachings of Jesus. I like the teachings of Yeshua too. I think they're great, and especially because they are so Ma'atian and comedic. But guess what? This stuff is being used to make us hate ourselves. So if you ever wondering why you just don't like yourself, one reason could just be that you don't like being black. And you didn't look in the mirror and be honest about that with yourself. Do you really like being black? Or if somebody showed up with a pill to make you white, would you take it? Or to make you another race, like Puerto Rican or something? A lot of us would take that pill. We wouldn't admit it, but we would take that pill. But I'm not mad at us because we are completely being washed and conditioned all the time to feel like that, to feel like being black is bad. From a young age, in all the cartoons, in all of the language, the English language is laden with anti-black. And then the fact that we aren't even black. We're Moors. Then there's that. So let me take away your nationality, have you calling yourself a color instead of a nation, and then make that color negative. Do you see how that works? Again, I say this every time. When you're studying electricity, what is the negative wire? What color is the negative wire, y'all? It's the black wire. The positive wire is white or red. And red is usually the color of anger and meanness and stuff like that, right? And passion and fury and hotness and heat, right? One time, someone saw this black man wearing feminine walking down the street. Shirley, nope. I don't know what I had said. I'm sorry. I don't know what I said. Frances Cress Welsing. Sorry, Shirley. I don't know what you were referencing. I didn't see what you were commenting on. But yeah, the black is bad. The black got to be soft. It's got to be passive. It's got to be negative. It's got to be, and it's not just that. It's the way we use the word dark. Though I hate it. I'm sorry. I was listening to this guy talk the other day. I mean, he was dropping jewels. But every time he got to the negative part, he was using negative as a synonym for dark. People would be like, you got to get that darkness out of your heart and come on out of the darkness and the darkness. And I'm like, yeah, but peace is in the darkness. You said if you want to be white. I'm glad, Shirley, I like that. That's right. Nope. She said, nope. That's right. And me neither. Give me this. Give me the pill to make me have more melanin and stuff. But that's just me celebrating being me, right? That's me celebrating being me. I don't want to be nobody else. I want to be myself, and I want to celebrate all the beautiful things that our people have done. But it's hard for you to feel a sense of liking yourself. It's hard for us to support each other's businesses. David Banner talks about that. He was like, a lot of us, we're talking about how we need to support black businesses, but we keep looking over the fact that we don't like being black. A lot of us do not like being black. And we will make excuses right there with supremacists. We'll sit right there and be like, well, okay, the policeman killed them on camera in a crazy ass way, but he was a criminal, or he shouldn't have been jogging down that street, or we should cut our hair and pull our pants up. Huh? You be like, nigga, what is you talking about? So he deserved to die because his pants was baggy? Come on, fam. But we hate ourselves. And you know why you know that? Because all our music is about hating ourselves, right? Biggie, heartthrob never, black and ugly as ever. However, then he gonna name some white people's name brands. I stayed Coogee down to the socks, rings and watch filled with rocks. We celebrate him for saying stuff like that. And I'm not mad at Biggie, but that was self-hatred in his lyrics right there. His whole album, Ready to Die, and he talking about being ready to die. He talking about robbing women on a train, hitting people, gun, pistol. I know he was bugging. He was bugging. But the reason why he made music like that, y'all, is because the black race celebrates our own self-hatred through music. And we're the only race who does it. Any other race that is doing it, they're emulating us. But other races have never made any music, and none of us did this until the 90s. The 90s, this was done to us. This is not even something that we did on our own. This was done to us through the gangster rap conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? The gangster rap conspiracy is what opened up the doors for all of this, right? But that's another story. But do you see my point? We're the only ones making music. I mean, I'm talking about by the thousands. We're making songs by the thousands every year about killing another black person. But if you say something to one of these same black people about white folks, they'll go, oh, I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate. I'm like, well, yes, you do, because all your music is about killing other niggas. Sound like to me you discriminate against being a nigga or being black, right? Or whatever you want to call yourself at this point, okay? So we're suffering from that racial hatred. I just can't overlook that, right? Let me see. I'm married biracial, and everyone say, why you not learn his language? I say, because he came to me knowing he was talking to a black woman, loving my Afrogenics. I call it Afrogenics. Hey, no doubt, no doubt. So, again, self-hatred, self-loathing, the ills, so you might be unhappy because you're harboring anti-racial thoughts about your own race. You also might be unhappy because you are a racist. Let's get into that too. We can't let racism make us into a bunch of racists. Racism is very hard to harbor in your heart. Park the card, Harvard Yard, right? Racism is very hard to harbor in your heart. One reason why is because it's not godly. See, God can accept all creatures. And I don't mean God floating in a cloud. I'm talking about you. You, isn't it? If you were a God, you would be able to accept all the creatures of God. It doesn't mean you gotta love, they don't mean you gotta party with all of God's creatures, right? I'm not gonna go party with a bunch of bloodthirsty killer whales and shit, right? But I can accept killer whales' existence. If you can't accept the existence of another race, you can't be happy because that race exists, fam. If you can't accept the fact that there's gonna be rainy days, or there's gonna be cats, or you don't like dogs, you're gonna be unhappy because dogs exist. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to like dogs or that you have to live with dogs. What I'm saying is you can't let yourself be unhappy because of the existence of dogs, just because you don't like dogs. So it's the same way with racism. I can't let myself become so upset at racism that I become racist, and then now I have to harbor all that dumbass shit in my heart. You can't live like that. And if you're God, you're not allowed to live like that and still be happy. It's one or the other. Either you're going to be a racist asshole and be unhappy all the time, or you're going to be happy and not be a racist. But do the knowledge on culture and race. Don't not do the knowledge, though. I'm not saying walk around singing Kumbaya with a bunch of racist people. What I'm saying is don't let them make you into an asshole and into a racist. Because racism is stupid. When you look at it, it's real stupid. And a lot of the things that are associated with it are really, really dumb and stupid. And a lot of the stuff is wrong. A lot of the things that we think, like, let me give you an example. There's this song called Star of the Story. Let me give you a real good example right now. Star of the Story by Heat Wave. It's this beautiful, beautiful love ballad. And I was looking at YouTube one day, right? So the group Heatwave is the same group that sings Always and Forever. So everybody knows Always and Forever. So they sing that, right? Now look at this. So this is a video I saw on YouTube about the star of the story. And what they did was, whoever made this video, they made a collage, and it was about just black women. The whole collage was about black women, right? And again, I'm not going to play the song because I don't want any part of my video to be muted. But this is a beautiful, beautiful song by Heatwave, as is all of their music. Okay, what's going on here? Titties. All right. So see, they did a black woman collage. But guess what, y'all? Rod Temperton wrote this song. And Rod Temperton is a British white man. Rod Temperton is one of the greatest writers of modern music. He died a few years ago. But Rod Temperton is the keyboardist for the group Heatwave. So the song Ain't No Half Steppin', Mind-Blowing Decisions, Groove Line, Gimme the Night by George Benson, Off the Wall, Thriller, Working Day and Night, might be him, I'm not sure. But for sure, Off the Wall, Thriller, Star of the Story, all of Heatwave's hits were written by Rod Temperton. And Rod Temperton talks like Thomas the Train. So this is Rod Temperton right here. He's the keyboardist for Heatwave, for the group Heatwave. So if you look at the group Heatwave, it was a multiracial group. In other words, this is my point, y'all. If I was trying to be racist, I can't enjoy Heatwave's music and all these different songs that we think were written and performed by just black people, when really it was a multiracial group. And some of our favorite songs that were written by black people ever were written by Rod Temperton, this white man who talks like this, right? So my point is, does that mean you got to go to UK and start worshiping the white man? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, a lot of times we become racist and it makes us stupid. It makes us dumb. Look at him. He's corny. He's a nerd. Look at him. That's who wrote all these precious black standard songs that we love so much. But a lot of us would assume that he wasn't a white man, that a white man couldn't write such soulful songs as this. But this is some of the most soulful music I have ever heard. The music by Heatwave. They stood out in the 70s with this music that they were making. I mean, Off the Wall. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, man. When the world is on you. He wrote all of that. Amazing. So my point is, we can't become the people that have hated us. The people that hate us, we can't become them. We gotta show them. You know what I mean? You gotta, when you're an adult and you're a God, you gotta show. You can't be walking around acting like children act. If you're watching children bicker among themselves, you can't become a child with them, can you? The black race is an old ass race. We should know better by now. There's some of the stuff that we're doing and the way that we treat ourselves, we should know better by now. We've become the very people that we feel like are our oppressors. We've become our own oppressors. And some of it is the way we have harbored these supremacist notions. A lot of us will try to like counter it by being the same way, but just black. That shit is stupid. Rise above all of it and just look at it like God look at it. You know what I mean? When your children are fighting, you break it up. You don't go and become a part of the fight. You don't go join the fight and start knucking with your kids. You got to be like, yo, that's not how we solve problems, fam. Right? So that's all I'm saying. All right? So racial self-loathing it can't not be addressed. We're suffering from a deep inner self-hatred that has been put there and is being constantly stoked all the time by the media. And finally, we're starting to make our way into the media a lot more. And there's a lot more valuable, dope black characters that aren't sidekicks, that aren't, you know what I mean? But we got a long way to go. All right? So it's insanity and ignoring racism. That's the final thing about racial self-loathing. Ignoring racism is just as bad as being racist. Like, if you want to walk around acting like there is no racism, you're never gonna be happy. You're never going to be happy because you're looking at, it's just like looking at the sky and it's raining and you're just like, it's a nice day out, you know, or it's a sunny day. It's not a sunny day. It's raining. You can't just acknowledge that it's raining. That's how racism is. If you just act like there is no racism, you're never going to be happy, fam. You're in denial, son. Being in denial is going to make you unhappy. So if I'm a constant victim of abuse, is it my own fault? Y'all, I know you don't want to hear this. And I'm not talking about children. I'm not addressing this to children. If you're a child, you don't have a choice. You have to live with your parents. If they're abusing you, you know, it's something that you have to deal with. But the side effects of being abused and and the question is, if I am a constant victim of abuse, is it my fault? Yes. Once, shame on you. Twice, shame on me, fam. If I whip your ass every week on Friday, and then here come this next Friday, and I whip your ass, you knew I was gonna whip your ass because I whipped your ass all the other Fridays. You feel what I mean? Sometimes you know that this person's gonna abuse you, but you're putting your face out to be abused, right? I was training Taekwondo with DJ Bowtie, right? He's a black belt in Taekwondo. He made black belt at 10 years old, and he's 25 now. So I was training Taekwondo with him a few years back, and he threw a kick and kicked me in my eye. But I leaned out. When he threw the kick, I said, "That's why." Now it didn't injure me, thank God. He felt so bad, but it didn't injure my eye, but it could have. And so now when I'm fighting, I know not to do that, right? I know not to do this because it happened to me once. I got kicked in the eye, and that broke all my scaredness about being kicked, about being hit, any of that, and it empowered me to not let that happen again. It's the same way with abuse. Energies attract other energies. Opposites attract. If you're a really timid person, guess who you're about to attract? A really aggressive person, right? And if you don't love yourself, you're about to attract that abuser, fam. And they might not hit you in the face. It could just be something they're saying or something they're doing to you. But if it keeps happening to you, it's partially your fault. And you have, especially as an adult, you have to get yourself out of that. It's only your job to do that. That person who's abusing you has lower self-esteem than you might even have. But you're making them feel like they don't have low self-esteem because you're being under their thumb. You know what I mean? Get from under that person. That person does not love you. That person does not love themselves. And because they don't love themselves, they can never love you the way you want to be loved. So if you're being, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're being hit, touched, abused, you are in the power where you can get from under it. I understand if you might be fearful for your life. You might think that person might try to kill you. One reason why that person is fired up like that is because you've let them set that as a standard for you. They've put your value level right here, and then you didn't check them. So now your value level stays there in that person's mind. And now they're like, look, if you're going to try to break away from me, now I'm going to have to really hurt you because how dare you? How dare you let me abuse you all these other nights? How dare you take up for yourself now, right? They're really incensed by that. That person is a bully and they have low self-esteem. They don't know, that person doesn't necessarily even know why they're doing that, right? There's something missing out of them and you can't fulfill them. So get out of their way and stop putting energy out that's going to attract that kind of person, all right? So once you see that person is like that, you might not have known it at first. Truth on fucking deck. Thank you. You might not have known it at first, but now you do see that person is like that. It's your job. The body is the temple. You are responsible for that temple. You're the person running that temple. You're not being nice and being a good person is not an excuse for you to accept abuse. Okay? I hate when people do that. You cannot hide behind being a good person, and that is the reason why you're letting someone hit you or use you or treat you bad or break all your stuff or steal from you or whatever it is they're doing to you, fam. You can't let being a good person. You're not going to go to heaven off letting somebody rape and abuse you, yo. And again, children, I'm not talking to you. But people who are in their power to get out of that situation, you are not what we're calling heaven. I'm being metaphorical. You're not going to excel. Let's take heaven out. You're not going to succeed in life. And you're definitely not going to be happy telling yourself, I'm a good person, and that's the reason why I let this person abuse me. You're not being good to yourself. You're not a good person. That's not being a good person. You're being a punk. All right? Work that out. What's up, Loco Gunner? How you doing? Big daps to you. Okay? All right, so we're getting through it. Now I'm almost to the part where I tell you how to be happy, all right? And we're going to work on ways that we can be happy because I don't like to just talk sad things. I like to counter it with the healing stuff, the black girl magic stuff. All right, so, okay. Can a person have too much self-esteem? No. A person can be too cocky, but they can't have too much self-esteem. Let's talk a little bit about ego and what the ego is. I think one thing that people say is they'll say something like, they'll say, I don't have an ego. Everybody has an ego, right? It's human. Ego is what they call id, and it's just self-awareness. Ego is what makes you go, okay, I'm Novocaine, you are Loco Gunner, you're Shirley, you're Winton, you're Kai, right? These are ego statements, meaning I recognize that I am this and you are that. I am, that's ego. So just saying I am is ego. There's nothing wrong with it. It's when you have an ego problem that it starts to spin into the Kanye West of it all, right? It's having an ego problem that's the problem. When you put your ego in front of everyone else's well-being, that is the problem. But you're supposed to nourish your ego. It's human, it's natural to want to be seen, to want to be recognized, to want to be acknowledged, to want to be valued. That's all, those are all faculties of ego. If we had no ego, we would be like ants or bees. Oh, just working. Kobe, how you doing? We would be like, let me see, what was that noise to? Let's see what that was. Thank you for the host, Shirley. Cheryl EC, Cheryl Leak. I don't know what to say. Thank you for the host, Cheryl. You know what I mean? And what's up, Cobes? Let me give you some dap. All right. So I'm starting to round it up. I probably got about 10 more minutes, something like that. But yeah, so what was I saying? Ego. So I was just defining ego for you. There's nothing wrong with nourishing your ego, with nurturing your ego. Your ego is to be nourished. It is to be nurtured because you are a human being. And what makes a human being different from most of the other creatures on earth, at least from what I can see, is our sense of self, right? So you have to nourish and nurture your ego and your sense of self, your sense of value. You can't just always, I know from being a mother and being a wife and being a woman, a lot of times we just give and give and give and give and give. And we never, we don't nourish ourselves. Like, it's like when you're a cook or a chef, you might stand over the stove for 3 hours cooking and never, other than tasting the food, you might never eat a plate yourself. Or by the time you get around to eating, the food is gone, That's what it's like when you don't nourish your ego. You have to make sure you are nourished, or you'll never be able to be a productive member of a godly society, right? All right. Cool. So let's just talk about that. Let's make sure. So yeah, a person can have definitely too much cockiness, but not too much self-esteem. Too much self-value. I don't think that that's possible. All right. Valuing yourself is when you start to value yourself over others. It's at the expense of someone else makes it a problem. Okay. But if you're not hurting nobody, and there's nothing wrong with a lot of self-esteem. So now let's talk about, so we're on the final three, the final two. What is the covenant with self? So the covenant with self is the covenant with God. Remember when we was talking about you being God earlier? Your inner self is God, fam. Your inner self knows everything. Your inner self knows what you need. It knows your entire history. Your inner self knows what is right and what is wrong. It's your outer self that's the problem. Your outer self wants some Cheetos. Your outer self wants to have some sex. Your outer self wants to drink a milkshake, or to get naked, or your outer self wants to do whatever it wants to do, good or bad. That's your mind, your brain, right? But you're deep down inside, your soul, your heart, right? That's your true self. That true self is connected with the divine, fam. Learning how to listen to that self is what we're on earth to do as well. To how to be connected with that self so that we can fulfill whatever our purpose is. If you don't know your purpose, you literally only have to ask your inner self, and it will come to you. It will come to you. Seeking ye shall find. Look at this. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all about ask, seek, knock. Look at this. A-S-K. All right. See that? Ask, and you shall receive. I before E except after C, right? Or is that right? Yeah, ask, and you shall receive. Seek, and ye shall. I hate this keyboard. It's cute, but it's whack. And ye shall find, because I can type fast, like, but not according to this. And knock, and the door will open. So remember when I talked about the holographic brain? You can project your own reality. Y'all see that? Ask, seek, knock. Okay? I'm giving away three free. You straight giving away free therapy up in this piece. Goddess level things are going. Thank you. Damn, that made me feel good. Cause that was my aim. For you to feel like that is my aim. I want you guys to recognize that your therapy is spiritual. You can't start with just talking to a therapist. You have to start with self. You have to start with self first. You have to look in the mirror and have an honest heart about who you really are. If you do that, everything else will fall in line. I swear to God. I swear to inner self, right? Ask, seek, knock. So if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your purpose, because a person might be like, well, no, I don't know my purpose, right? I don't know my purpose. And that's fine. Some people never find it, and some people find it late in age. There's nothing wrong with that. You find it when you find it. Time ain't real no how, so don't worry about that, right? Ask, seek, and knock. You already know the answer. You just don't know you know it, right? You have to commune with yourself to find it. Boom. All right. So let me get back to what my point was. Okay. So the covenant with inner self. So let me give you an example of how this works, right? So what did you promise your inner self that you would do? So let's say you wake up in the morning and you're like, you know what? I'm going to the gym today. I haven't been to the gym in months. I'm paying for it, right? I'm speaking for me. I haven't been to the gym in months. I'm paying for it, right? I'm paying the money for it. I need to go. I tell myself I'm going to do it. I just told my inner self that I was going to do it. I just told God that I'm going to do it, right? I wake up in the morning. I don't do it. Guess what? I've broken my covenant with my inner self. Guess what's going to happen? Repercussions are going to happen. The repercussions are karma. The karma is simple. Stiff body, fat stomach, unfit appearance, right? That's my karma for not doing what I said I was going to do. DJ Get Down, Minnesota, I think. What's good? How you doing, man? I like your profile pic. I like your little art or whatever. That's cute. It ain't sweet. Telestoro. Hey. Oh. Good to have fam up in the joint. All right. So you just broke your covenant with your inner self, and you wonder why you're not happy. You're not happy because you're not a person of your word. Remember we talked about word magic earlier? Words are powerful. You can't just go around saying anything out of your mouth, and you can't say anything with your mind either. You can promise something in your mind. You could, like, again, you wake up in the morning, you're not talking out loud, right? You're thinking in your head. That's your mental voice talking. Like, I'm gonna work out today. I'm gonna work out. Yep, I'm gonna work out. And then you don't do it. You got to pay for it. You got to pay. You can't keep making promises to God and yourself and breaking the promises and thinking you're gonna get what you want out of life. You're never gonna be happy. So that being the case, stop making contracts with yourself that you don't think you're ready to fulfill. Make that contract when you think you're ready. When you think you're ready to fulfill it. Okay. It's simple, right? So the consequence of you not fulfilling that contract is you got to eat whatever the karma is. But guess what starts to happen though if you keep making promises to yourself and breaking them? You start not believing in your own self. You start to devalue your own self. So that's another thing. You don't want to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm not a person of my word. I want to be a vegan, right? I want to be a vegan, but I know I ain't gonna never be no vegan. You know, just looking at yourself, now you're starting to not even value your own word. You're starting to even look at yourself like somebody who can't fulfill anything that you say you're gonna do. You don't want that, fam. You don't want that, because that's how people go into those slumps when they start. You ever met a person and they just seem like Gollum or some shit? Like, I don't know, I can't explain it. Like, they're just a former shell of themselves. That's because they've accepted that they're not good enough. Somewhere along the line, they've accepted that they're not good, they're not worth value. And they behave that way. And then you're trying to be their friend or be their girlfriend or boyfriend or any of that stuff. And it's not going to work. You know what I mean? That's right. Don't write checks your butt can't cash. That applies to contracts you make with yourself and others. That's exactly what it, because you wouldn't do that out here in the world, would you? Well, a lot of us do that. But you're going to go and sign a contract saying you can pay this mortgage, and you know that you don't. What is that? Somebody gifting subs? That's what that sounds like. Let me see. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you for the subscription, fam. Appreciate you. The submarine dives deep. Anyway, All right, so let's move on. So now, y'all, we are at the finale part, the final part. This is a lot to say, though. Let me see. Oh, okay. Okay, no. So now, how can self-esteem, how can improving my value and my sense of self-worth and self-esteem not just make me feel happy, but make me into a superhuman? That's the part I like. So how can I be super with self-esteem, right? First of all, contract fulfillment is rewarding. When you do make these contracts with yourself and with others and you actually fulfill them, it's very, very rewarding, right? And it's rewarding in ways that you can't predict. Okay? So you told yourself you were going to go running, right? You go running and you come back. So not only are you like, I went running and I feel really good. So your heart thanks you, your blood thanks you, your legs and your body thanks you, but you also feel a sense of, you know what? I'm all right. I said I was going to do that and I did it. That's a good feeling. And it makes you sunnier and happier and it makes you more attractive. Now the word attractive, literally, I want you to look at it from an energy perspective, not from a person's cute perspective, even though that's a part of it. How you look is a part of being attractive. But energy is attractive, right? Vibes are attractive. Your vibes will improve if you do what you said you was going to do and nourish your self-esteem. Your vibes will improve and you will become more attractive to people, even if you aren't considered to be technically attractive. I've seen people that I thought were so sexy and attractive that was not typically attractive at all. But they were attractive to me because they had self-esteem and they were like, yo, I'm this. And I'm like, that shit is sexy to me, right? That is attractive to me. Some people just look okay, but they look way cuter because of the way they carry themselves, right? That's one way it can make you a superhuman. Ma'at. Having self-esteem and working with Ma'at to get that self-esteem and keep it in check. Karma works for you. If you work with Ma'at, it works with you, doesn't it? Ma'at is nature, y'all. It's the order of the universe, nature. Nature is literally the order that has been put to the universe. It's called nature, right? So when you go outside and you put something in the ground and you nourish it and you water it and you give it what it needs, doesn't it yield fruit? Boom. That's it. Valuing yourself, investing in yourself like a harvest, it yields fruit. It yields fruit. If you invest in yourself, it yields fruit. I took time last night and I made some house music. I made some house beats last night. And now I have house music. I have a product. I have 2 songs I can play now that I made because I invested time in making that beat. I invested time in something for myself. Okay? And it's just that simple. All right? And becoming more attractive also, becoming more attractive relieves your worries. A lot of the burdens that we carry, it relieves. Investing in yourself. No doubt. Investing in yourself, it makes you, it relieves a lot of worries. Like you're not worried about things. When I don't invest in myself, I look up and I'm neglecting myself. And now that creates an undue burden in my life that's not necessary. Let me give an example of that. So right now, if I'm being candid, right, I need to paint my toenails. Like I've trimmed them, but they need to be painted. They don't look that great, right? I need to shave, right? I haven't done that in a while, right? Now, and my hair needs to be done, right? I mean, I put a little ponytail up and stuff, but my hair actually needs to be twisted and washed and stuff like that. It's not like really dirty, but it just needs to be washed. It needs to be maintenance. Let's say I get sick. Let's say I get sick right now. I don't want to speak that into existence, so let me try to cancel that before it's, but let's just hypothetically say I get sick. Now, not only do I need to heal myself, I still got to do my hair, I still got to shave, and I still got to paint my nails. Versus if I was to handle all that stuff, that self-investment, the shaving, the doing of my nails, the doing of my hair, not only will I feel good after I do it because I'm going to look better and feel cleaner and better, right? I'm also going to be less burden. I'm going to be less burden laden. Is that the word? I don't know how to say it. I'm going to have less of a burden on me because I don't have as much on my plate. When you wake up in the morning, you got, what do I got to do today? And then you name 8 things. Isn't that depressing? It depresses me when I name 8 things I have to do and I haven't even done the first thing yet, right? I got shit from yesterday that I haven't done. So doing what you said you were going to do, and investing in yourself and in your self-esteem, it makes you more attractive. Karma and Ma'at will work with you to reward you even more. Contract fulfillment is rewarding. It leaves you with less worries. And the final thing is it actually makes you more wealthy. It actually makes you more wealthy. You get more money, resources, connections when you do what you say you're going to do and invest in yourself. You get way more. You attract way more people into your life, into your circumference, and you keep them there when you are busy taking care of yourself. Let me give you an example of that. Becoming a vegan. Those of you who are vegans, you know this, or vegetarian, or those of you who work out. Doesn't it inspire people to want to be around you more? Doesn't it make them perk up a little bit more about you? Because think about this. I had this friend named Jara. She used to weigh 200 something pounds. All of a sudden, she just started working out and getting herself together. Now she got Michelle Obama arms and body. She's very fit. She's lost all kinds of weight. She's curvy. She's, the muscles are tight. It looks great. But it also it put her on my radar way, way more than she was before. Not because, she was fat, so I wasn't paying her no mind. It was her self-determination at carving and chiseling herself to become a better woman that caught my attention. You're going to catch people's attention when you start making power moves for yourself. You're going to catch people who either want to make power moves like you or people who are already making them and they see you and they want to help you get to that next level. But if you ain't doing nothing to invest in yourself, you can't get none of this. You're going to always be unhappy, fam. And it's just that simple. You can't get happiness from anywhere but inside. And you can't get that from not pursuing your purpose. If you don't pursue your purpose, you're going to be unhappy, period. So one thing props up the other thing. Taking care of yourself props up happiness. And happiness props up attractiveness and good karma and wealth. And if you're doing it all right, it all is a big circle of making you feel good every single day. Even if you're having a so-called bad day. Bad days are there to teach you about yourself, okay? All right. Finally, y'all, we're on the final point, part 13. I did 13 whole questions, segments. So this one is, what things can I do to improve my sense of self-worth? All right? So if you're just joining me, say peace. Right quick, let me say my little spiel. We got some lurking going. We got people showing love. We got emotes. We got subscriptions, all that stuff. So it's good to have y'all. Yeah, I guess I'll go for about 15 minutes. I'll go for about 15 minutes, and that'll be an exact 2 hours. Maybe DJ Bowtie will be DJing by then, and we can raid him. If not, I'll just find somebody else or whatever. Or if y'all got somebody y'all might want to raid, let me know. Okay. What can you do to make yourself feel better? Let me make a banner for this. How? Come on, yo. How can I improve my self-worth? I should have put sense of self-worth, but I don't feel like typing all of that. All right. And that is a question, isn't it? Let's make it a question. I'm being a nerd. I'm being a nerd. Here we go. All right. Okay. First of all, find your purpose. We talked about that earlier. You don't know your purpose? Look deep down inside. Ask yourself. Meditate. Think. Sincerely want to know. And the universe will deliver. Plain and simple. It will deliver your purpose to you if you don't know what it is, right? Or if you think you know, then just find out more about what really question yourself and ask yourself, okay, I think my purpose is to do this. I know that one of my purposes on earth, y'all, is to teach. I've been told all my life. For one thing, what do people tell you all the time? What do they say? You should be a this. You should be a that. That may be your purpose. Think about it. You know what I mean? If somebody tells you, you're so giving, maybe you should be a social worker. Or maybe you should be a person who does food drives and stuff like that. If people tell you, you're so good at making me laugh, maybe you should be a comedian, or maybe you should find your but being a comedian is just your delivery system. The purpose may not be being a comedian. Let's look at Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's obviously his lot in life is to be a comedian. But what is his purpose? His vehicle is comedy. His purpose is knowledge of self and pointing out things. He has a way of wording things that makes you see the truth in it. in a way that you can't deny. And he uses humor to disarm you, to help you see the truth. He knows that using humor to disarm you so that you can see the truth. He knows that laughter is therapy. He knows that taking people off their square so that they can admit, something. That's a part of his skill, right? So that's, in my opinion, if I had to, it's not for me to say what Dave Chappelle's purpose is, but if I had to put his purpose in words, that would be what it is. You know what I mean? It's healing through comedy. It's racial commentary and socialism and stuff through comedy. You know what I mean? And I think it's really awesome. All right, so find your purpose. Play your role. Once you know what that purpose is, don't you go and try to do something else too much. You can do other stuff and it's cute, but if some people, they run, and if this is you, be honest with yourself. The inner self is telling you, you need to be a preacher, or you need to be a nurse, or you need to be a doctor, and you're running from it for whatever reason. You're wasting your time. You better go ahead and find your purpose and start working it. Don't be trifling. Don't be trifling, yo. Be on time. Be on point, right? Do what you said you would. You know how many friends I have that told me they were right around the corner and they never showed up? Black people, we ain't gonna front. We got to work it out. Black Americans, I don't know how everybody else is in other countries, but here in America, we are something. It's like, I'm on my way right now. I'm like, no, you're not. You're still in Portsmouth. You're a whole city away. I'm not gonna see you for another 2 hours, and you're gonna tell me that you're 10 minutes away? We got to do better. So we got to stop being trife towards each other and towards ourselves. And not just stuff like that, but stop being actually dirty too. Like, brush your teeth and do your hair and take care of yourself, right? Don't be trifling. You can improve. If you take care of yourself, your self-esteem will improve. You got to treat yourself like Gollum treated the precious. Did you see how Gollum was about the precious? He said, the precious. He was out here killing people about the precious. He was stabbing people because of the precious. He drowned his best friend because of the ring. You got to treat yourself like that, except for the drowning your best friend part. But you got to value yourself and take care of yourself and stroke yourself so that it's just like if you had an expensive car. Don't you really make sure that the car is clean and you vacuum it out and get the oil changed a lot? Because the car costs you $80,000. Right? So you like, no, I'm taking care of my car. What the pimps be like, yo, take your shoes off when you get in my car. They got plastic right there so you can't grease up their seats. Treat yourself like that. Be a person of your word to yourself and others. So find your purpose, play your role. Don't be trifling. Be a person of your word to yourself and others. Keep your word. Let go and let God. Get out of your own way. Some people just don't know when to sit down. Move. Get out the way. Like, let go and let God. That's what Christians mean. They like, yo, you're doing the most. I would have blessed you, but you so busy doing shit. Sit down somewhere. And just trust in the process, right? Have faith in the fact that the universe is set up a certain way, right? Lurk. No doubt. Well, I'm rounding it up anyway. So for those of y'all who are lurking, I am rounding it up now in about 13 minutes. Be a person of your, so find your purpose, play your role, don't be trifling, be a person of your word, let go and let God, study human nature. That's important. If you study human nature, some of the things that you think are just happening to you, you'll realize, oh, everybody does this. That doesn't just happen to me. That's not just me doing that. Sometimes we'll be mad at ourselves because we're like, I can't believe I just did that. And you don't realize that hundreds of thousands of people do that same thing you're doing. You're not exempt. You're actually normal for feeling like that. But you'll think it's something wrong with you because you don't study other humans and you don't study human nature and how humans are designed. All right? So that's something to know. Seek the lesson in your current situation. Wherever you're at, whatever your current situation is, what is the lesson you're trying to learn? What is the chamber you're in? And what is the lesson that you are trying to learn? The universe will have a lot of stuff centered around you. And if you look at it all collectively, you might go, oh, I think this chamber in my life is about patience. So this chamber in my life is about learning, working for self or self-worth or, healing my body or whatever it is. Be always looking for the lesson. Don't just pass in your test don't just hand in your test to the teacher so you could just pass that class and then never remember anything you learned in life. Learn your lesson from things that happen to you, right? Cool. And think about now, not what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. Invest in yourself today as you are right now. All right, cool. Well, damn. Stop internalizing disappointment. Okay, you did something wrong. You messed up. Get over it. Do not put that shit down into your heart like that. Don't be like, oh, I am a failure. Don't do that. I hate when people do that. I hate it. Like, man, you stupid. You know, they're talking to their own self. Like, I'm like, damn, yo. Stop internalizing disappointment. Okay, you got disappointed or somebody didn't do what you wanted them to do. You'll be all right. Right? Okay. Say no. This is a big one. If you want to improve your sense of self-worth, say no to unworthy things. Say no to unworthiness, yo. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. Please don't be out here amening and yesing everything somebody wants you to do. Like my example earlier about Beyonce and about Pharrell. They know how to say no because they can't be all the places. People want, you know, I'm sure there's people that want them to perform on the same day. Like, hey, I have a show for you June 11th. Then somebody else call and say, I have a show for you June 11th. They can't say yes to both of the shows, right? They have to do what is going to be worth their time and worth their value. If something ain't worth your time, fam, don't waste your time with it. And don't be apologizing to people because you don't want to waste your time with them. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's making them feel like your time isn't that valuable. Like you could spend time with me, you just don't want to. It's like, no, I literally don't have time to give you the thing you want. I don't have time to value you that much because I'm trying to value myself. And I know that sounds selfish, but that's how you be selfish by valuing yourself. Other than that, be selfless. Be selfless, but be selfish when it comes to knowing your own worth. All right? I'm almost through it. Bring sexy back. That's the way you can bring your self-esteem back. Remember I was talking earlier about grooming? Get sexy. Go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, pluck your everything, bust your everything, clean your face, do a facial, right? Draw you a bath, put some candles around that mug, put some herbs in the bath. Oh my God, some lavender petals. Shut up. Get in there and treat yourself like royalty. Sexify, right? Every blue moon, see, women, we know about this. Getting beautiful is a ritual. It's not just about being seen. It's a ritual. When you do that, you're investing time in yourself, right? You're beautifying yourself. It shows that you value yourself. You recognize that you have things on you that are attractive that you can bump up and make them way, or adorn yourself. Put you some jewelry on, fam. Pick out a nice outfit, wash it, iron it, whatever you got to do to make yourself feel crispy, feel good. It feels good to get dressed. It feels good to, and I'm not a person who's like big into clothes and stuff like that. But I love when somebody is high fashion and they treat themselves a certain way because they get that, okay, you can project yourself into happiness. You can, what they say, dress for the part. You ever heard of something, dress for the job you want? You want people to value you more and to be more attracted to you? Dress for the job. Do your hair, do your nails, care for yourself, right? So it's important. Detox. Do you want to feel better about yourself? Cleanse yourself. You just dirty on the inside, right? Detox yourself. Do some yoga. It'll bring balancement to you. It won't just detox you, but it'll actually bring balancement to your blood and your way of thinking. Think about this. When you do yoga, you do the sun salutation, right? So you stand, you put your hands in the air like that. You do a back bend. You do a forward bend. You do a lunge. You do a downward face or nut pose, downward facing dog. You know what I mean? You go into a plank. You go into an upward dog or a back bend. A cobra, you know what I mean, or whatever. You come back to downward dog. You do the opposite side of the lunge. You come to a standing forward bend. You come to full standing, mountain pose. You do, you come to full standing. You do another back bend, and then you come back to the beginning position. In that sequence, my body was just in all the positions like that, right? That balanced me and made me feel better, and it improved my self-esteem and my sense of self-worth. That's how that works. Do yoga. The Do Better diet, which is the diet that I practice. Just do better. Eat better. Eat better today. Be like, okay, I'm going to have some raw food today. And then treat that like, okay, I'm doing this for me, right? I'm treating myself good today. And don't feel guilty about it either. Sometimes, especially us women, us mothers, we feel guilty when we nurture ourselves. Don't do that. It makes you a better mother and a better wife, right? Okay. I got a few more. Aim higher. Sometimes we just don't shoot for the stars. Sometimes you're not happy because you're aiming too low. Aim higher, all right? And believe that you can get that thing that's up there, right? Recognize and positively nurse your ego. Talked about that a little bit earlier. Recognize that you're a human. You have an ego, and it needs nurturing. You need to take a selfie sometimes. Take care of yourself and be like, I'm cute today, whatever. Cherish that about yourself. So nurture your ego, or be like, damn, I'm good at basketball. Let me go shoot some hoops on these niggas and show them what I got. Right? That's nursing your ego. And there's a positive way to do it. Don't hate on nobody else, but make sure you get your shine in. Get your shine on. Feel yourself a little bit. Right? That's what she said. Forgive yourself and others. And don't be bitter, please. No healing there. No healing there. You got to get over it. That's not attractive. Being bitter is, ugh. Nobody wants to be around a person like Debbie Downer, just like, I don't want to be around nobody like that. I know you don't, right? So forgive yourself. Get over it, right? In the Comedic spiritual system, you're not allowed to wake up with stuff on your heart from the next day, right? Anything that I argued with my man about yesterday, I'm not supposed to bring that over into today. All right, I'm on the last 5 minutes. You always come in on my last 5 minutes too. So if you wanna say anything about self-worth, I'm coming in with it. All right. So improve. Don't be bitter. Improve yourself. Now we're on the part of things you can do to improve your self-worth. So I said, find your purpose, play your role. Don't be trifling. Be a person of your word to yourself and others. Let go, let God. Study human nature. Seek the lesson in your current situation. Stop internalizing disappointment. Say no to unworthiness. Treat yourself like Gollum treated the precious. Bring sexy back. Accept yourself as lovable and as a lovable and attractive being. Detox. Do yoga. Do better diet. Eat better. Aim higher. Recognize and positively nurse your ego. Forgive yourself and others and don't be bitter. Improve yourself. So that's where I'm at now. I'm going to improve yourself. Do stuff you can be proud of and do what you know is right. You came in at the right time because that's your saying.
That's my thing,
yeah. All right. So that's my man back here. He's a great guy and he's a very wise person. And he practices all of this. You know what I'm saying? So improve yourself, fam. You can just do better. Work on yourself. Do stuff you can be proud of. Right? Again, if you're sitting around smoking Black and Miles all day, Queen Nubia, I really miss you. I miss you. I've been waiting to see you go live or something, and I don't know what I'm missing, but hey.
What up, Queen Nubia? How you doing, sis?
This is somebody with a lot of self-esteem right there. Yeah. I mean, strong, powerful. She call herself Queen Nubia because she knows she a queen.
Fro and everything.
Afro and all. Sitting on the throne like this.
Yeah. On her cup that she made.
Right.
Yeah. That we supported.
Yeah, we got that mug down there.
Yeah, we go hard. Big up.
So improve yourself. Do stuff you can be proud of, though, fam. If you're sitting around smoking Black and Miles all day, why do you expect to have so much self-value in yourself? You ain't doing nothing. If you're just playing video game, and I ain't talking about gaming on Twitch, that's different because at least that's with a purpose. But like, if you're just sitting around just doing nothing every day, why do you expect to have all this high self-esteem? Like you don't got nothing going on. So do something you can be proud of. Go build something, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I feel good about myself. We go out in that garden, we feel really good about it. Not just because we can get cucumbers and tomatoes, but we did that. I'm like, we put these seeds in the ground. It's something to be proud of, right? And finally, do what you know is right. Ain't that right, Fats?
Yeah.
With your fine self. Do what you know is right, yo. You know what's right. We talked about my eye earlier. We really got into it. So deep down inside, the inner you definitely knows what's right from wrong. The inner you is God. So you don't have any excuse as to not knowing right from wrong. Let me quote Jesus on this. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I got to stress that because I'm saying that you don't do unto others as they do to you. People treat you like shit. So if you're going to do unto others as they do to you, you about to be walking around treating everybody like shit.
People try to slip that in, though. That's how you got to watch in our societies, present societies. They'll take these ancient 100,000-year-old teachings and then try to revamp them to suit their mood for the day, month, year, decade, or whatever.
Like money is the root of all evil, and it's the love of money is the root of all evil, not money.
So I tell everybody all the time. That's how I teach my sons. When y'all come and y'all go in y'all children's room and you look and they got that look on their face. I just say, hey man, do what you know is right, bro. And that puts a pause on their face too, because they like, okay, I can't get around that.
Right.
He ain't snap, he ain't kirk out. He just said, hey man, do what you know is right. It even put they on, especially children who are way more pure than we are. It puts them in a place where they're like, all right, he right. I need to just do what he said. Just cut the TV off, or finish the homework, or whatever. He right. You know what I mean? And so do what you know is right. And she was just saying earlier, you're always right. That's why Psalms 82:6, ye are gods and children after the Most High. That's based on your spiritual science. The voice in your head. Right. You see how we do? So the voice in your head is always right. Believe it or not. You know, I've been in situations, you know, come on, y'all. I don't know any brothers in here back in the day. You go in the room with the girl, you like, yo, and the voice in your head, like, yo, man, don't have sex with this girl. In your head, and you hear it maybe 3 or 4 times. What do we do oftentimes? We have sex with the girl. And as a result, the universe done told you what the plan. You went against the grain.
And now you gotta eat it.
The universe gonna be like,
now you got crabs.
Now
this dude ready to beat you up.
I gotta shoot you in
she
the
was
foot
married.
For that homeboy.
That's right.
Right, you know what I mean? So it's a domino effect. You know what I mean? Or you got caught out there because you knew you weren't supposed to have this girl because you had a girl. And you got caught, you thought she was slick. Universe, and I don't know about women intuition, but be easy with that for cheating cats. But back to the DNA of the flaky biscuit. Just do what y'all know is always right. If you do what you know is right, by people, for people, by yourself first. This is obviously how can I improve my self-worth. Everything starts with self. That's pretty much all I got to say. I wake up every day, do the best I can to be positive, push it out to the world. You know what I mean? And so I ain't gonna talk y'all to death. Y'all been.
I mean, you rounded it up. It's good. You saying I just hit the 2-hour mark 30 seconds ago. It's perfect. I really covered everything. We had all kind of people stop through, show love. Do what you know is right. If you do that, it solves a lot of problems. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's what I was talking about earlier about that racism. Right. I'm not saying that we got to sing Kumbaya with these folks that haven't reached a certain level of understanding yet. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to sing Kumbaya and overlook obvious problems that we're having with other races and stuff like that. But I'm not going to treat them the way that they have treated me, or I'm just inviting more poison. It'll never end.
It's a never-ending cycle.
It will never end.
We learned that. You know, we learned that in learning our culture. Again, you have debates and you have differences on other cultures and how they treated you throughout history or whatever. But you realize, well, ye are gods. Back to Psalms 82, 1 through 6.
I said that earlier. I'm like, are you God or not now?
Children of the Most High. When people say, we be saying these terms, I know when I was learning the knowledge and learning the teachings, even in church, you hear these little sayings like, nothing or no one is against you. And you be like, man, that's everything against me. Everything seems to be against me right now because you don't understand that one real easy lesson. And that is real and true to life.
It's up to you what's against you.
Took me about 45 years. I'm 47. Took me about 42 years to get that lesson of, ain't nothing, no one is against me. So why am I going to work? Why is this person messing with me all day, every day? But I kind of really started to subscribe to it and took a step back. I'm like, oh, this person dealing with something that they dealing with because I didn't come in here and do nothing wrong to them.
It's not even you. But that's why I was like, don't internalize disappointment because we'll do that. That person is hurting. They going through something. Their self-esteem might be shot. So they're either mean because of it, or they're sad because of it, or they're racist because of it, or they're sexist, or whatever the reason is. And then here you come. Why he treating me like that?
Right.
It's like, don't internalize. You know better. Just let that person be.
And right. And see, here's what I learned I have to do. You gotta let that person be there, but you also need to be like, oh, okay. Hey man, you know, this is the hardest part. Doing what Jesus would do. That's the hard part where you like actually give them love.
Right. In spite of the fact that they hated on you.
To just shoot them love. That don't mean hug them. That don't mean talk to them. Positive energy activates constant elevation. So it's an acronym for peace.
Now see what he said? That's the Martin Luther King technique that some people don't get when you're talking about the peaceful protest and peaceful resistance. And I'm not saying that need to be the way that everybody protests, but everybody ain't no warrior. So there's more than one way to protest. And one of the ways to do it is like that. And it actually takes an incredible amount of strength to do that. If you hit me in my face, it's easy for me to punch you back in the face. That's my reflex.
What up, Floyd Vader? I see you.
Vader. But if you hit me in my face and I decide I'm not going to do you that way, I'm not going to hit you back. It takes a lot of strength.
I know. I used to not. It used to be when you were conscious, right? When you're consciousness, when you first started, it's always the Martin versus Malcolm ideology.
And of course, we like Malcolm.
The Magneto versus Charles Xavier, same thing, right? And then when you look at it, at first, we all thought going into it, because I go in under 5% or Muslim, so I'm thinking Martin Luther King weak. But as I get older and wiser, I think to myself, could I have done that?
Right.
Am I strong enough in my heart for people to spit at me and throw bricks at me, and for me to still walk?
Martin said that these people need to see, now that these films are out, now that these movies are out, because that's, film and everybody being able to take everything was new.
Right.
And so now all of the things we've been going through all of this time is on tape. And it's international. Now the world can watch international news. So they can't be, he was like, not only am I a whole Christian minister, so I have to adhere to the tenets of Jesus,
to the teachings of Jesus
which
Christ,
are turning of the cheek. But I also understand the power of it if you do it right. it makes you see, if Martin Luther King had hit them back, then everybody would have said, and them niggas deserve to get diddy bopped by the police, right?
Right. And I also want to learn, I want to teach y'all for the record, since we're talking about the Martin Luther King thing and the power of children. For those of you who don't realize, when that thing first started, that peaceful thing first started, if y'all notice, it didn't stop them from throwing the bricks, from the water hoses. That didn't stop them, the police, from from attacking peaceful protesters. We've witnessed it in present day. What me and my wife learned was that the children made a conscious decision on their own, because of course Martin Luther King and them, the SNCC and them was like, nah, we ain't gonna have the babies involved. The babies told the adults, nah, yo, we about to peacefully protest. And I want y'all to realize that that's when all that changed. Because it was just pretty much going on, and then when the
and America being seen for what it was, and certain people in other countries started being like, well, America, I thought you hired you for freedom and democracy, and then aren't you the country that got your freedom from England for being taxed without representation and the Boston Tea Party and all that? What happened to all of that?
What you mean?
How is this man still how is you water hosing grandma Ella May? How is you water hosing Mildred?
And I noticed, but then you notice the propaganda of the 50s and 60s. Ain't nobody black. It's Coca-Cola, it's the white lady, she's smiling. And then behind all that, we being hung.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
right.
So it all goes back, but it all goes back to the day and they give flaky biscuit. I don't want to get too sidetracked what we're building on. It's just improving on your self-worth. But the civil rights movement is a good example of that. How no matter what, no matter what is going on, nothing or no one is against me. That's the lesson you take from the civil rights movement. You know what I mean? Or from the SNCC and from their attempt to bring equality to us or whatever. So, you know what I mean?
So in closing, if you want to be happy, you got to be God. And if you want to be God, you got to be true to yourself, right? And that's it. That's it. There's no other way to be happy than to know what your role is, to play that role, and to play that role within the laws of Ma'at like a G. That's it. And it's fun.
Not a gangster.
It's fun, right? It's not like it's not like we saying something corny. It's fun to do this. I feel awesome, like exercising these principles or whatever on a day-to-day basis, and knowing that it's nothing worse than not knowing why something keeps happening to you. This gives you the answer, y'all. If you don't know why something's happening to you, you have to realize that you actually do know. Did you know that you actually do know why things are happening to you, and you just don't want to accept it
or admit it? A lot of people don't realize. A lot of people don't want to realize that. Okay, this is me.
Yeah, it's me.
I had the attitude, or I'm the one. I got the food, or I got the car, or whatever.
Yeah.
And everybody da, and I'm just being like this. My man Sparks, I gotta admit, big up kudos. I don't know if he in here. He think he at work right now, but he said that a lot. We're doing this podcast, about to go major. Better do big things with it. And as these camera people he used to work with, but because some differences with them, Sparks kind of took on this attitude that he actually admitted to me in Brotherhood. As we were going on, because we were starting to not be able to find people to help us tape it. So he was like, man, and then he just sat down in one of our meetings and was like,
it's counting
this me, yo. This me. I got to do better. I got to call Cap. He said it. He was like, yo, you know what? I'm holding up our process.
Come on.
Just me. By being wild. By spiritually not doing right. Cap, and everybody, blah, 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 blah. When all I need to do is get Cap a call.
That's
and
right.
we can move forward.
That's
but
right.
It's me sitting there harboring it. So I bigged them up. I said, yo, not a lot of people are willing to do that or can do that. And guess what, Sparks? And guess what, y'all? We got cameras.
Because he was willing to put himself aside, his ego aside, his desire to be the right one, his desire to be the person who
feel like he's right.
Or people want to be the victim too. A lot of us, we want to be the victim.
People are addicted to being victims.
We're addicted to victimhood. Yeah. And so and so the universe like, oh, you want to be a victim? Word up.
No problem.
I got you.
Yeah.
I remember we did ask, seek, knock. So whatever you want, you're going to get it. You know what I mean? It's not just the universe attacking you. Sometimes it's you. It is you. It's you. And the universe will give you all the rope you need to hang yourself. The universe will give it to you.
Yeah.
It will give it to you, fam. He's like, oh, you don't like yourself.
And don't forget though, when the universe gives you the rope, he doesn't put it around your neck.
The universe just gives you the rope.
Yeah.
You be like, man, I'm so tired of all this racism and
right.
Oh my God.
And you making a rope to hang yourself when he actually gave you enough rope to climb out of the situation. If you knew how to do it.
Who is he?
The Most High.
Oh.
Or
yeah.
The concept of
I'm with you. I just
yeah,
hey,
you know what I mean?
So what he's saying is right. Yeah, you ain't nobody hanging you, man. It be yourself. And every blue moon, it is someone doing something to you that you don't have control of. Like every blue moon in life, something happens and a person will impose their will on you. But even then, how you handle it, how you take it, all of that is up to you. If I smack him right now, I'm not saying he's not going to get mad. If he's human, he's going to get mad. But he don't have to. He actually does not have to get mad. So that's true. That's true godhood, though. Yeah, but once you reach that level, that's next level. That's God level. That's
next level.
Yeah,
you on it. You on it. Queen Nubia, this is why I acknowledge my truths.
I put it on the screen already.
Oh, okay, my fault. Instead of ignoring them, I ain't seen
it. Let's see what Hustle talking about.
What up, Kobe?
Basic training taught me to let anyone say anything to me without having the feeling that I need to respond. Come on. If I can stand here and let this fool yell and spit in my face without doing anything, then why should I respond to fools in the street?
Kobe,
straight up and down.
Man, I never thought that anyone would give me an example of basic training as something where they learned a spiritual teaching, yo. That is dope, yo. And you right, yo. You right as rain.
I always used to say real. That I would. You probably heard me say this before. That I used to wish that I could join the military without actually joining it, so that someone would wake me up every day at 6 and make me run and make me make up my bed and make me and push me to the edge, right. So that way, like he said, if I can take that level of so-called abuse, right, which is really just temperamental training, teaching you temperament and teaching you how to be, because that's what they do that for. They do that to teach you to be in uniform no matter what, to be in unison no matter what, no matter if somebody's yelling at you, calling you names, whatever. If you could take all of that, you're a soldier. You know what I mean? You make a good soldier, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But that's a really good point.
Yeah, I like that, man. What up, Cole? You know what I'm saying?
If my car breaks down, it's not my problem. It's the car that has the problem.
I share. Don't get you an Uber and work it out.
Right. Because
get your AAA if you got it. Hey, come get it. And go home, have a little drink, sit back, and then figure out what you're going to do with the whip. And you'll look up the universe. Oh, okay.
The magic of it is to turn all your problems into good. I remember when you watch The Wire, Marlo be like, them sound like good problems.
Good problems to me, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because good problems are problems where it's like, yeah, we got too much. We got too much harvest. Like, we got so much we can't even eat it. That's a good problem. You know what I mean? We're trying to make all our problems to good problems if we can. You know what I mean? More like challenges that you want to solve. Just like a math problem. You know, if you like math, it's not a problem. You like it. You know, I remember when I was in school, I liked word problems. So the teacher would give me a word problem. Mm-hmm. I wanted more because I wanted the challenge of trying to solve the problem. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So that is that, y'all. This has been Why the Hell Am I Unhappy Out Here? I missed The Wire too. I think this is one of the best shows ever made.
Dope.
You know what I mean? But why am I? And then I went to school in Baltimore, so that was The Wire was really special for me. And he lived in Baltimore for a while too, because some of our family lives in Baltimore.
Sure.
But yeah. So let me just say peace to everybody. Let's do a little bit of a
see Kai Korea Tess up in the house.
She was the first one, like usual. So peace and blessings to everybody. Peace to Kai. Peace to Elder Music. Level Up Art.
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday. Yeah, thank you. I don't know if he's still there, but happy birthday, Level. Damn, man. I wish I had thought to say that. He might not even be here no more. But if you are still here, happy birthday, man. Dude is amazing, yo. So, let me get the pyramid or something. Show people. So, y'all know, y'all always see me flashing this around. This is one of the things that he made for us. That dude, Level Up Art. You know what I'm saying? It's his birthday today. So, if y'all want to support him by buying something from him or whatever, he's available and he's absolutely amazing. All right? Yeah, handle that. Palm. Sorry. Palm 215. Peace. Wynton Morgan. Peace. XZX. Peace. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. I'm just saying peace to everybody. Cheryl. Peace. Everybody that joined in. Peace. Loco Gunner. Peace. Kobe Hustle. Peace. DJ Get Down. Peace. Telestoro. Peace. Queen Nubia. Peace. Matron Malice X. Peace. Cheryl. Peace. All right. So this weekend, y'all. Was that everybody? I think there's one more. Inspired Sounds. Peace. All right. So this weekend, y'all, we are celebrating a long-awaited thing that has happened. You know what I mean? And that is the book. The book is hardback, fam. I didn't upload my overlay. Oh, my God. Let me get this up here. Fess's book is a hardback book now. And you can pre-order it through us. So we're going to have a big party on Friday, right? That's Friday?
Yeah.
June 4th. I should have put Friday, June 4th. Offstage hardback will be available for pre-order. We'll have that all set up for y'all where y'all can pre-order it, and as they come in, we'll ship them right to you. So we're going to watch the Rubble Kings documentary at 6 o'clock. We're going to interview Fats at 7:30 about the book, the making of the book, and the inspiration behind the book, and the whole journey of this amazing piece of work that has done so much for our family. And then at 8:30, we're going to party. We're going to play some tunes. We're going to get a little drunk and have a little toast with y'all, all right? And we're going to party into the night just like that, okay? So please be there for this. It's gonna be on Culture Chronicles at Twitch, Jason Kirkman, but of course I'm gonna have it at on Black Girl Gamer as well. You know what I'm saying? Next on the list is Z-Axis. Again, this has been available since May 11th. It's awesome. You can go to our website, soultrustrecords.com, which I'm in the middle of revamping right now. So, you know, everything should work proper, but forgiveness if it doesn't, but it should. Go there, soultrustrecords.com. The first thing you'll see is this. This project is called Archie B, and it's by my son, our son, 12-year-old producer Z-Axis, who made most of these when he was 10. So it's actually amazing. Very well done. I always say this, arranged, produced by him, artwork by him, all of that. I just think that shit is so amazing. So please go and support him. It's $10, and you get, I think, 10 songs. And some of them are just damn good. Like, actually just damn good. You know what I mean? All right. Tomorrow, I'll be DJing. That's not the one. Here it is. There we go. I'll be back DJing tomorrow at 1. I might pop up tonight, but I don't know. So I was supposed to pop up on y'all yesterday to make up for Sunday. I had a gig on Sunday. And so, yeah. That's that. So, is there anything else we got going on that's announcement worthy?
That's most important to me is the beat tape and the book.
The beat tape and the book. Sounds good to me. So, all right, you guys, it's been us. We have loved you as usual. So don't be out here being unhappy, yo. You can't say that didn't nobody tell you how you could maybe address your unhappiness and stuff like that. Don't let nobody waste your time. Don't let nobody use you. Know yourself, and find yourself, play your role once you know that, okay?
And I just want y'all to know for real too that it you know, it is the sun cycle, and I know a lot of people may not understand what's going on with that, but things are changing. This
for the better
it's a slow process. You know, it took them a long time to get us like this too, so it's gonna take us a long time to get back on track. But the process has started. We need you. We're giving these lessons. Nova's spitting these lessons. We're giving you all these lessons because we need people to be positive.
That's right.
We need people to positive energy activates constant elevation. That's an acronym for peace. You know what I mean? So. We need
an army of this.
Unity would solve all of this. If we were just to unite as a people, it would solve a lot really fast. But we know that's a work in progress. A lot of us don't like each other, be it race, in our race, out our race, or whatever. However, I say all that to say that the world is becoming a better place.
That's right.
It gets real ugly before it gets better. So that's what we're dealing with now. Trump being the president, all this craziness going on or whatever. So remain steadfast. Stay positive.
Now Biden.
Love everybody that loves you. And if they don't like you and they don't love you, love them from afar. All right? Love y'all, man. Hope to see y'all Friday. Y'all
we love y'all, yo. So, yeah, here we go. I'm about to see if there's somebody that we can raid here. Let me give a look here. All right. So, X and Sister X. I think we're about to raid X and Sister X.
You got Miss Her, S6 in the X.
I always raid to musical people, and Miss Her in a minute, she's gonna have like 100, 200 people in her joint. Right. Yeah, I'm trying.
So let's go with Sin. Yeah, let's support.
Yeah, I'm about to raid Sin because Sin always
looks out,
comes and shows me love. Okay, y'all. So we're about to raid to the gaming community today. I haven't done that in a while because I've been DJing so much, and I haven't gamed in almost a month up here. Oh my god. But I'll be all right. I'm still me. Okay, hold up. Creator dashboard, stream manager. All right, so when y'all get over here, just give her a follow real quick. You know, if you don't like gaming, still lurk. Give her some love. Show her the love she deserves. This is my good sister. She helped me get affiliated, and she shows me nothing but love and respect. And so, yeah, love you too, Kai. Love you too, mama.
Yeah, Kai, you already know.
You know,
Kai.
You my boo, yo.
Oh, we got your hut in the village. We done built that joint.
Yeah, that's my boo. Bet nobody never say nothing bad about my Kai.
Oh, no, we good.
All right, here we go. So, love y'all. And for those of you who are on Facebook and YouTube, the video is just about to end on you. But all right, she's playing Knockout City. She's a member of the Black Girl Gamer group, which is a big deal. She's a member of the Black Girl Gamer Code group up here on Facebook. So she's a true gamer. Show her some love and some respect. We love y'all, all right? Peace and blessings.
Yeah, come on. If you ain't over here with us on Twitch, too, come on, y'all.
Yeah, join us on Twitch, y'all.
You can experience our whole experience a whole lot better. Music and all. Live. Peace. One love. Love y'all, man.
One love, y'all. Love you.
Let's get this money. go get some more spaghetti.
Hold on, I'm still live. Oh, it's spaghetti time. Yeah, let's go get some of this.
Well, I'm gonna go get some more noodles because I think we're gonna need some more. So I'm gonna run over and get some, put them on the stove. Then I'm gonna. Yeah, so I'll be right back.
All right, peace, peace, peace.